face guard you the rest of the game. If I ain't getting no rebounds, you ain't getting none. That's a good deal. That's a good trade-off, isn't it?
Can you pull up what the Heat's record is?
Miami.
Not good. Not good.
Are they in playoff contention?
The Miami Heat? They're 40 and 35, 40 and 36.
40 and 36.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're in like the top 8.
Yeah, they are number 7 right now. Ahead of the Hawks, by the way.
Yeah, I know we're
38 38. Y'all suck.
I was like, I know they got to be ahead of us. Hey, interesting fact about the Hawks. All of our so our last 2 games are 1-1. Our last 4 games are 2-2. Our last 6 games are 3-3. And continue on until you get all the way to like.
Interesting fact.
Last 20 games.
Interesting fact when you read.
AKA.
Interesting fact when you do some playoffs, you're gonna go 0-4. Oh.
I don't know about that.
Well, let's say you make it as the 8th seed and you play Milwaukee first round.
Sorry, buddy. Bye.
That's not like super bad though. That's not like a really. That's not a horrible.
No, but who are you gonna have guard Giannis?
John Collins. Clint Capella. I mean, John Collins isn't playing great.
Disrespect.
Oh, Nico Okongwu.
Oh, Nico Okongwu is great. I have always liked him.
He's a great player. He's like my favorite Hawks player outside of Trey and.
And I'd say he could hold him to 20.
yeah, I mean, like, he's Giannis. He's gonna score. Like, you're not gonna stop Giannis.
Yeah, that's facts.
That's not the goal when you're playing Giannis in the playoffs. The goal is to keep the rest of the Bucks off from making 3-point shots and from making easy 2s. Because Chris Middleton, if you leave Chris Middleton open, he's gonna make a 3.
Yeah.
If you leave Malcolm Brogdon up, wait, is Malcolm Brogdon?
No, I'm sorry. He's on the Celtics.
No.
Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday, yeah. You leave Drew Holiday open for an open 3, he's going to.
He was winning games for the Bucks when Giannis was out with injury earlier in the season.
Bobby Portis, serviceable backup center and starting power forward.
And when we played them, 2 playoffs ago, Giannis had an injury and Trey had an injury, and they were both on the sidelines. And the only reason they won is because Drew was just like throwing dimes.
There was really a moment where I thought it was going to be Phoenix Atlanta in the finals, and I was excited for that.
Yeah,
after
because we would have smoked.
I know. After Giannis hyperextended his knee.
Yeah,
that looked bad too, and he came back.
It was just Trey just sat out. Like his injury made him sit out for too many minutes for us to not win, and that's also like a testament to like, okay, well, like the rest of the team didn't do enough, but like we didn't have double O at that point.
It's fine though.
I'm not going to ask Bogdan to do more than he already does. And we had Kevin Huerter, who wasn't doing
which he's been great in Sacramento.
He's been great now.
Yeah.
Because he's the star.
No, he's not the star. And Domas Sabonis.
I mean, he's a
Sabonis. Sabonis needs to go.
He's a top 3 option.
No,
I only say that because Sabonis is such a great player. I think that the Kings aren't gonna he's not gonna go anywhere.
Hang on now.
They're lighting the beam damn near every night.
They're 3rd in the West.
Yeah.
Yeah,
45 and 30.
The Kings are 3rd in the West. They can clinch a playoff spot tonight.
They can.
But do you think? Wait, okay. If they clinch playoff contention, if they go, let's say
they play the Blazers tonight, dude.
Tomorrow
without Dame.
Oh,
without Dame.
Yep.
So no Dame, so they'll be able to. But if if the playoffs. All right, so going through
yeah, you're only up by 5 right now, buddy. Be scared.
Going through the playoffs.
Okay, I'll be about 300.
Let's start with the Kings, just because they're going to make the playoffs this season, and they haven't since 2006.
It's exciting. Sometimes in Sacramento.
That's a stat. I kind of wish they went with Boogie.
Oh, don't remind me. Why is Boogie
They
not
truly
on
wasted him.
Facts.
The NBA ruined.
Where's Boogie right now? I wish he were on the Nuggets.
He's at home.
I wish he was.
Guangdong Tigers.
Guangdong Tigers.
But if the playoffs were to start tomorrow, unfortunately, because of Golden State's bullshit win over the Pelicans last night, and it was a convincing win, it really was. But I mean, the Pelicans were up 20 in the first. I don't know.
Seriously?
It's the Pelicans.
Yeah, no Zion.
We're gonna throw a lead, and we're leaning on Brandon.
Yeah, y'all got the same record, by the way.
Yeah,
the Hawks and the Pelicans got the same record, and you're both the 8 seed.
But right now, if the Kings, if the playoffs started tomorrow, the Kings would play Golden State in the first round.
That's
yeah. So they wouldn't.
I don't know.
It's a tough battle, man.
The Kings have one of the best offenses in the league this year. Defensively, I mean, you're dealing with Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox.
You also got Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes is a good offensive contributor to that team.
He's having a good season.
But in terms of defense, I don't think they're going to be able to stop it.
Each of their best offensive players are at best average on defense.
I just showed Will a video earlier. You think that the Kings can stop that shot? Exactly.
What shot?
It was the shot from last night where Steph was on the corner three. He threw it all the way.
Oh, to Clay.
Clay, and he
have
just
you seen that
fumbled.
I have
shot?
not. I
Dude,
was
it's a
thinking of the
good
one where
one.
they just left Steph wide open.
It's goated.
On the
Like
radar.
it doesn't make sense how he made that shot. Like it's not. That's why I'm like I think the Kings will put up a really really good fight. Don't get me
Like
wrong.
I know,
But I don't think that they're not advancing to the next round.
I've noticed.
Pass go to
I've
Steph.
noticed. Like everybody has talked about how absolutely dismal the Warriors' road record is. They're 9-29 on the road as of this recording.
Facts.
I'm still scared. I'm still scared. It's a sleeping giant, and I know. Like I'm operating under the assertion that they're not getting Wiggins back for the rest of the year.
No.
Yeah. No.
But
you still have. On that starting
like
team.
Jordan Poole last night didn't do jack shit in the first fucking half, and then second half, he just goes like Jordan Poole in the 20
Jordan Poole just needs to see a bad bitch on the line. He's ready.
in the 2022 finals where he's hitting like I remember like what game 5 of the NBA finals he hits like a 40-footer to end the third quarter, and my friend he's like a huge Celtics fan, and I was like Bryce the entire
And mind you, during like that whole series, Jordan Poole was putting up numbers. Like he was consistently putting up like at least 15 points every single.
And there's no way that Jordan Poole would have won that Finals MVP just because Steph it was his.
It was just to finally get it.
He needed to finally get it. There was no way they were giving it to somebody else. Even though I remember hearing like chirps around the time where it's like, give it to Wiggins, and it's like, well, fuck you. I know he guarded Tatum pretty well, but like, you had to give it to him.
It's not more than Steph did.
Oh yeah.
All right, but yeah, let's talk about their road record. How are you 9-29 and still a 6 seed?
They're so good at home.
They're 31-8 at home.
They're
Dude, they're so. It
bad
doesn't.
in the
And that's
road
what I'm
this
saying.
year.
Like
Yeah.
the Golden State is built for the playoffs, bro. Like they've been so many times. They've been in that atmosphere. They know what it's like. They still have damn near the same core that they had when they went to the finals versus LeBron. Like it's kind of ridiculous. Like nobody's going to be able to see them in the playoffs. We can talk about regular season all day when it comes to the Golden State Warriors, but nobody's seeing them in
If
the
the
playoffs.
season ended today, you're saying they're a lock.
I would think the Nuggets would be their biggest
But
contenders.
But if
in the
season
playoffs.
ended today, they're a lock to beat the Kings.
I think they're a lot.
I just
Okay, we're also going to see a little bit of...
I don't think it's like a sweep.
it's-
I'm not saying it's a
fair,
sweep,
but-
but I think it's like a 6-game.
I say full 7.
We're going to see a little bit of
well,
jockeying in the last... We got 8 games to go in the regular season.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the middle of the West is so brutally packed tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you have...
Besides the Nuggets.
Like, every
Facts.
team who's, like, actually seeded outside the play-in has 40 wins at this point. The Golden State Warriors just got their 40th win of the season.
That's crazy.
Everybody in the play-in, 7, 8, 9, 10, they are within 1 to 3 wins of reaching 40 wins. So, this is all
the West is wild.
It is.
subject to change. And then you have Dallas right on the outside. I mean, like, we can pretty much discount Utah at this point.
Oh,
I don't
man.
think Utah's
Really?
making their way back into the play-in.
I was going to say 7, 8, 9, 10, or 10, 11, 12 even.
Nah, Utah's out of it, man.
Utah's had some pretty-
35 and 40. They're sorry, man. They're done.
Utah's had some pretty rough losses lately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Markkanen had like what I think it was like a 3 of 13 night a couple nights ago, and like I was rooting for Utah all season because it's like, oh shit, you just gave up Gobert and Mitchell for like barely anything
for peanuts.
for peanuts,
And then you trade away said peanuts.
and then you traded away all the fucking peanuts, but you got Walker Kessler.
Why? Don't diss on my man Walker. He's having a great year.
No, he's like Rudy Gobert, but like
On crack.
on a rookie deal.
We'll take it.
I will take that.
I don't know. The West is so fucking
It is.
like the East. You can get a better picture of, and you can kind of detail
Oh, yeah.
a little bit better. The West, is so unpredictable. Because aren't the Grizzlies? The Grizzlies just got Ja
Yeah.
back. Ja is out right now for a hip.
He was
injury?
out last night.
For a
Yeah.
hip, yeah. But he's gonna come back.
Yeah.
And you said they're ranked number.
They're
The Grizzlies?
second in the
yeah,
West.
they're second in the West.
They're
They're
second in the
48 and
West?
27.
And they're pretty firmly.
Them not having Ja didn't even
No,
stop.
that is true.
Like, that's kind of ridiculous. I think that Golden State, the Nuggets, and the Grizzlies are the biggest people you need to watch.
What about the Kevin Durant Phoenix Suns? No.
No.
Really?
No.
No.
Elaborate.
Just because they added KD.
Dude, come
Just because you
on.
add the best scorer does not make out a best
Facts.
team now. You had D-Book.
Think
you
about that
had
sentence again.
DeAndre Ayton. You had, and you have
There
Chris
you
Paul on the same
Yes.
team. And you've gotten to the playoffs every single year for the last, 4
3.
years?
But that don't mean you're good.
And you have not. You've gone to the finals once, granted, but you didn't even deserve to go to the finals.
Yeah, because Jamal Murray was injured.
But now you have Kevin Durant. I'm
But now
huge
you have
KD
Durant,
fan, so
but
I'm
I
going
don't
to be
think-
here. I'm ready for this.
I get you, but my argument with that is KD went to the Golden State. KD did not add more to Golden State when he went to Golden State. Yeah, he added more to their offensive parameters and their defensive parameters because he's a big
dude.
big guard.
Yeah.
But like he's not adding so much more to teams that it's like automatically.
Him and all of those both those playoff runs, even the one where he went down in the finals, people were saying, "Oh, if KD comes back, like for example, this finals, they're winning." Was the Finals MVP in their 2 championships? Like,
Just by
I
default.
get it, but I don't think but Golden State won without
Golden
him.
State.
Before
Well,
he got
okay.
there. Golden State won without him. After
There
he
is
got
that
there.
caveat of like
So I'm not saying that Kevin Durant going to Golden State made them like the team that was Golden State, because he went to the Nets and they didn't do shit. Obviously, there was a whole lot of like extra shit.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
you got Kyrie Irving
And
being
losing more.
being Kyrie,
hang on now.
and Ben
But I mean,
Simmons
like,
straight up
but
being
let's say
selfish
that
asshole.
The big three were actually the big
Yes.
three
I mean,
in
my
the Nets,
feels,
like how
man.
everybody thought it was going to be in Brooklyn. They would not have gone to the finals.
With
Wouldn't have.
Kyrie, Harden, and Durant healthy.
And don't forget Ben Simmons.
oh,
Well, okay, so they pretty much slaughtered Boston in that first round.
and they were this
No.
close away from beating Milwaukee
Yeah, but I don't
with an
think
unhealthy
that-
Harden.
That means that
Like a
they're
50% Harden.
Yeah, and I don't think that means that they're gonna stay in playoff contention.
So then let's.
like, cool, yeah, you beat the Bucks, but the Bucks, let's not forget, like the Bucks sometimes fumble their game.
They fumble the bag.
Bucks can win
Well, because
every single game if
Budenholzer,
they really play.
Budenholzer does not make adjustments half the time. That entire series, the Bucks. Okay, the only reason it was as close as it was is because Budenholzer refused to put Giannis on Durant for that entire series. He had Chris Middleton guarding Durant that entire series.
Why?
You put
PJ,
Giannis on,
PJ.
you put
And
Giannis
PJ.
on Durant, and Durant's not.
No,
scoring.
he isn't. He's getting locked up.
And Durant is not going to be able to hold Giannis. That's what I'm saying. I don't think Durant is, mind you, I'm not saying that he's not a great player. He is definitely one of the greatest basketball players we've ever seen. But he is not a playoff
Oh my
player.
goodness.
Durant's not a playoff player. That's amazing.
I don't think he's a
No,
player.
Hold
I
on.
think you're wrong.
Well,
Hold on now.
okay. If we accept,
All right. Well, he
Postseason
does.
stuff
He does what he
versus
does
season
in the
stuff.
regular season, in the postseason.
he is one of the most effortless scorers. Like I remember, I forget who said it. I think it might have been Bill Simmons. He said that Durant's the most low maintenance superstar that we've ever had in the league, and that you can plug him into any system and he'll give you 25.
He will.
That's fair.
At a
Like-
minimum 25.
Yeah, you can. So I get where you're coming from. You can make the argument that like you can put him on any team and he'll still be great.
Same
yeah.
with Clay.
Yeah.
You can put Clay on any team, but it doesn't mean that as soon as you send Clay to Houston, that Houston is automatically a champion.
No,
It's
he's
just,
got
I
a
mean,
point.
examining his Thunder career, I can see where you would say he's not that much of a playoff performer.
I'm not talking about that. Thunder career, he was definitely a player.
Well, I mean, like,
he went harder.
he went
in
to
the
one
playoffs than
finals.
played for the
He went to
Thunder.
one finals in his Thunder career, and it's when they were like really young in that weird, the strike shortened season against the Heat, where they get just sunned by LeBron.
Yeah.
And then-
6 playoffs with sorry, real quick. 6 playoffs with OKC, 3 with Golden State, 2 with Brooklyn. So 155 games. He's averaged 29.4, 7.8, and 4.1.
Which that's
And that's playoff?
about
Yes.
that's about Kevin Durant numbers.
Yeah, that like
Yeah.
he's good in the regular season, in the playoffs. Like he has a set line that he performs at. It doesn't waver at all.
That's what
No,
I'm
I
saying.
get where you're
It
coming
doesn't-
from.
When it gets to playoff contention, he does not go harder in the playoffs than he does in regular season. He's expecting his teammates to come and match his energy when KD knows that he's supposed to be the
So-
one.
All right,
going
all right.
harder.
I get where he's coming from. I get it.
If you're the star on the team, if you're really that guy, if you're really the best scorer in the NBA effortlessly, then you should be scoring more than 25 points during.
Does
your
this
playoffs.
argument
29.
does this argument come from the super teams thing? Does this argument come from like, okay, he leaves Oklahoma City after blowing a 3-1 lead to the Warriors in 2016, goes to the Warriors, they become the greatest team ever.
Yeah.
Which is like, if you're examining like KD as a playoff performer, the one thing that you point to is the 2017 finals when he averaged 35 a game and won Finals MVP.
Yeah.
The reason why he averaged that many points is because the Cavs, I mean, they
They had
that finals
arguably a
was
bad defense.
that finals was like
They didn't have.
Yeah.
great-
they didn't have great defense. I mean, they had defensive guys on that team like Iman Shumpert. He was a decent wing defender in his time. He was, but they kept Tristan Thompson, hey, good offensive rebounder in the mid-2010s.
Yeah, he was a good rebounder, but like they just couldn't hold.
And the other thing was they kept double teaming Steph because like the Warriors' offense was still like groundbreaking at the time, and now it's like every team in the league is running like high pick and roll and doing like the elevator screens and stuff like that and getting around like switches, and you know, teams have adapted to the Steve Kerr Golden State Warriors offensive system. But back then it was still like, I mean, Kevin Love spaced the floor and LeBron spaced the floor and stuff like that, but you couldn't match the floor spacing of the Golden State Warriors. And double teaming Steph, that just left Durant open that entire series, which is why he was able to average 35 a game. And then immediately he goes to Brooklyn and forms like Kyrie Irving and James Harden and all that. So I can see where the criticism comes, where it's like, he always gets the best teams, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He always like...
Because even his Thunder team was an amazing team. It was who was the big three? It was him.
Harden and Westbrook.
Harden and Brooklyn.
I mean, Harden leaves
leaves
right after winning Sixth Man of the Year.
Yeah. But I mean, like, if they had stayed together, let's say that the big three of OKC had stayed together for like 5 more years, they would have had a championship.
I don't know about that.
At least they would have gone to the finals.
Well, because you look at the early 2010s Western Conference was like a weird time because you hadn't seen the Warriors coming out party yet. Dirk's getting older. The Spurs are retooling.
They are
with Kawhi Leonard.
They no longer have their big three.
Oh, they were still around.
They're like filtering out their big three.
Duncan retired in 2016.
I mean, Tony Parker was still there.
Tony Parker retired in 2019.
Yeah, so he was still there.
Yeah. They were still there.
He retired as a Charlotte Hornet, which is so strange.
That's wild.
Cool.
That hurts.
Awful.
That
I would
hurts.
have wanted to retire as a Spurs.
Same.
I know, but apparently he had problems with Popovich and management and how they handled the Kawhi deal.
Valid.
Yeah.
But like people always say, like what could have been if the Thunder stayed together. I don't think you would have seen. I mean, Durant was pretty much who he was by 2012, 2013, and he won. You know, after 2012, 2013, he won MVP. I don't think you see Westbrook become what he did, and I don't think you see Harden become a
because Westbrook doesn't have to go through all the bullshit.
Yeah, and I don't think you sure as shit don't see Harden become what he did, averaging 36 a game.
Oh, do you want me to tell you what he did?
What?
I can't tell you what he did, in Houston.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know, man.
But
he said, "I don't."
Big Rockets fan.
Big Rockets, man.
Which season hurt?
4-time runner-up
Yeah,
of MVP.
which
Should have been at least 3 of those. Got one of them. Yeah.
Who, Harden?
Ben, are you okay? Do you need a hug?
No, are we going to talk about the bottom of the standings?
Hey, tank for Victor, baby. Tank for Victor.
We're hoping.
I hope Victor becomes a Rocket.
We I think
Him and Alperen Alperen Sengun.
I think that
That'd be a good.
He went
stayed
off in that
together,
game in Denver.
if they had kept those 3 together, they might not be a championship team, but they would have been a really
It would have-
good team. Like they would have looked like LeBron Heat. But
It would have become like, oh shit, how do we pay all these guys? And the same, like, it's the same quagmire that
Facts.
Golden State's going to find themselves in a couple of years when they're like, oh shit, we have to pay Jordan
Jordan
Poole.
Poole.
Yeah, and
Shit.
because he's actually
and like,
really
oh
good.
shit, are we going to extend Andrew Wiggins and are we going to extend Draymond and stuff like that?
I don't think they're going to extend.
Get rid of Draymond.
Wiggins.
Get rid of Draymond?
I
Get
love
rid of
Get
Draymond.
rid of Draymond.
I love Draymond.
Draymond already has like a deal for TV coming up, so like
He's going to be a great commentator.
He is good. Yeah.
He's going to be
Oh, yeah.
amazing on TNT. So like I don't think that.
I want to see him
He's
go
the next
against Kendrick.
perk. I was just saying,
Yes!
he's the next perk of ESPN.
I think,
Yes.
Well, here's the thing: is that Draymond Green has like rings.
Yeah.
Perk's got him. Perk's got
Dirk
one.
has the 08 Celtics
Perk's
ring.
got one as a starter.
But what did he average? Like 5 and 3 in that fucking series?
Well,
at least.
That's like trying to. That's
He had
like
at least
Paul
double
Pierce
digits
bragging about
rebounds.
Hey man,
Hey,
Paul
yeah.
Pierce is a Finals MVP. I understand that people shit on him because he is kind of stupid.
He's sorry.
However, that
Sorry.
man was among the best wing players in the league in the 2000s.
Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah, in the 2000s and the early 10s, he was
sorry.
like that.
All right.
But like, I don't think Paul Pierce was good enough in his time for him to be talking as much shit as he
That's
was.
true.
All right, less about the early 2000s Paul Pierce. Let's talk about the current teams in the playoffs.
All right.
I came here to talk about one team specifically.
The
Damn right.
Nuggets.
As of right now, we would face New Orleans in the first
Who
round.
we
would
kind of
win.
struggle against.
And y'all would.
Well, here's the
5
Yeah,
we
wins.
actually
I'm a Nuggets. I'm a Pels fan, and
Pels
I-
get 1 at best.
we struggle
Pels
against
win
the
one?
Pels.
I think
They get 1
Pels
at
win
best.
2. I think Pels win 2.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Max. And that second game is really close.
Who do you think's the biggest threat to us in the West?
I'm gonna say you're not gonna like it, but I'm saying Phoenix.
I mean, I say
I
the same
agree with
thing.
that.
However, that brings up an interesting point. If Paul George is able to come back for the first round of the playoffs, which is a big maybe because of his
Fifth.
Here's the thing.
They're 40 and 36.
The current first round series for the Clippers it'd be Kawhi Durant. It'd be Clippers Suns in the first round.
We are also a few hours short out of KD's return.
Yeah, KD's coming back tonight.
We're recording this before then. We will find out soon.
That'll be one of the finer series I think I will ever watch if the standings stay the same and we get Phoenix Clippers in the first round.
That's probably going to be.
That's gonna be a good one.
That's just going to be the mid-range mastery. I'm so excited. I will take the Suns. But like it's Kawhi on Durant, which we haven't seen. Like we've been robbed of that several times. We were supposed to get it in the 2019 finals if he didn't fucking tear his Achilles in Game 2.
Oh, come on.
I was there for that, man. That was a gut punch moment because like I really didn't have any stakes in that series. It was just kind of like, ooh, I want to see Kawhi versus Durant.
A fun time, yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned it earlier, like how you vividly there's certain sports memories, even if it's not my team, that I vividly remember. You mentioned like the Virginia. I know Virginia being upset by 16 UMBC.
Yeah.
I remember where I was for that. I remember when KD and Clay went down. Like.
Yeah. I think the one that I'll remember the most is probably Jokic's hook to over Gobert.
Oh, as a fan?
Oh.
You know what mine is as a fan, as a Rockets fan? You guys know what it is.
Is it? Hold on.
There's
regular?
two.
Is it
There's
regular
two
season
playoff
or
ones. There's
it's
two
two
play-
playoffs. Because I was about to say it was that regular season game versus Golden State in 2019, the blown out of bounds call on Durant.
Okay, so that was a good one. I know where I was in that one, but
Yeah.
but it's 2 playoff ones.
It's 2 playoff ones.
All right.
Is it Ginobili blocking fucking Harden?
That's a good one. It's another good one. No, I'll tell you. First one is obviously Dame hitting the shot on us.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And the second one,
Yeah.
it made me sad because once it happened, I knew we were going to lose the series, but Chris Paul going
The
down
Chris Paul
is-
hamstring.
Ah.
2018.
Yeah, I'm sad.
That could have completely upset the dynasty. Like we talk about the Warriors as like this unbeatable juggernaut, but
We were a
like
game away.
the Rockets were up 3-2.
We were
in that
13
series.
threes away.
Yeah.
Hit one of them.
13.
I think that Chris Paul is going to.
Rob,
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Chris Paul guy.
I felt bad for him when he was with
I'm
my
a
team.
huge Chris Paul fan because he was the only thing making the Hornets when I lived there.
That is
Fair.
true.
Fair.
That
That's
is
cool.
true.
And then he went out to the Clippers, and Lob City
It was fun.
fucking crazy
was
with Griffin. And we thought that like that was gonna be like okay, like cool, like they're gonna do it, like they're gonna get to the playoffs, they're gonna win the finals.
All right, but I mean, you can. So we made that argument that any team.
And I don't think that since then they've put Chris Paul on good teams.
No, we make the argument that you put Durant on any team
The Suns
and he
agree.
still does his job. Like you can make that exact same argument with Chris Paul. You put him on a team, he'll pass the ball, he'll average a lot of assists, and
OKC season.
he'll do okay shooting. But like I don't think he does enough to make a team better. He doesn't. So I gotta disagree with you, man. He doesn't deserve a ring because he doesn't make that argument where he makes a team better.
I think that he deserves a ring because
He's had some shining moments.
He has, but
he's had some great moments.
But-
But I think specifically for me, it's a nostalgia.
I get that, but
Because I feel like he put in so much work in New Orleans that it didn't make sense that he didn't do better in Cali.
no, that's
You know what
fair. I mean,
Like, I felt like he had come up as such like a monumental player, especially like having AI leave the league around the same time.
fair.
Chris Paul is coming up as the best point guard in the league around this time. And then we see Lob City, and then after that, it's just like, who the fuck is Chris
Facts.
Paul?
Y'all remember the Darren Williams Chris Paul debate?
No, I don't.
Refresh my memory, please.
When he was in Utah, probably?
Yeah, Darren Williams. He was
Yeah.
like, I think they were the same draft class.
Yeah.
And they were just both really good point guards. I mean, Darren Williams absolutely fell off a cliff, which is really unfortunate.
Because
He was really good for a couple of years. He was also kind of serviceable on the Nets if it wasn't for injuries.
I'm also kind of mad that Shannon Brown.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what your ceiling is with Shannon Brown. I mean,
I just think he could have.
yeah, I mean, just Kobe needed
Kobe didn't pass.
Darren Williams, Illinois hoops legend.
There's only one button on the controller when you're playing this Kobe.
It's shoot. It's shoot.
I mean, they gave him like the best supporting cast he could, but like you look at those teams in like the mid 2000s where it's like,
Yeah.
oh dear, Smush Parker, Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown. Oh God.
Yeah.
That was like right before / like when like the whole like power teams was like really a thing.
That was right before Boston made the big three.
Facts.
Yeah, right before Boston made the big three, and then right before LeBron went to Miami.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, it was a different era where like every team had a star.
Every team had one.
Every team had at least one star.
No, but and you.
Now we're in an era where like, yeah, every team has a star, but like a lot of these teams just have like
they have a supporting cast. Like you look at the Denver Nuggets, they have their own big three in Jokic, Michael Porter Jr., and Murray.
Yeah.
Like that is a solid. Plus,
That's a solid
plus you got Aaron Gordon and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
I want to say
that is a
players.
solid starting five.
Which I'm kind of mad
Role
that
players.
KCP is doing better in Denver than he was as a Laker.
Hey, cry about it.
Yeah.
Cry
He was
about it.
fine.
He still helped us get.
He did to help us get one.
He did.
Let's hope.
I will say I am kind of. I don't want to say I'm just.
I think the Nuggets have a really.
They do.
chance to get in the chip.
I've told Alex before. They stay healthy, they win it, and there's no excuse.
If nobody else gets put on the bench for the rest of the playoffs, they're a solid.
I
Yeah.
fear the deer.
I
I fear the deer.
So the finals.
I
you
fear the
get
deer.
there.
I fear it.
I feel like Giannis has something to.
Peru.
When did they win?
2021.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. And then last year, well, Chris Middleton was down with injury in that series against the Celtics. And like a lot of people argue that like, oh, if Middleton's healthy, they beat the Celtics. And then they, kick the shit out of the Heat in the conference finals.
100%.
And then what the hell is Golden State going to do against Giannis? What, Draymond Green? Maybe.
Draymond Green.
Draymond Green had 4 fouls in the first half.
Draymond holding to 34.
And then what, Kevon Looney? Oh yeah, you're going to stop Giannis.
Yeah. Andrew Wiggins. Yeah.
Not a chance.
Yeah, that wouldn't have worked. Yeah, no. I think that I don't know how to feel about Milwaukee because
They're a good team.
They have they're a great team. I feel like they have all the components necessary to make them the best team in the NBA.
Yeah.
But they don't utilize each other properly all the time, as much as they should.
I feel like they're trying to work in Chris Middleton again, and like from what as much as I've watched Chris Middleton's game, he plays like Washington Wizards Michael Jordan. And but like younger and a little bit more athletic. It's just like a lot of like long twos, which I love. He can.
You're a fan of the mid range?
Of course I am.
Not.
Mid range is
Mid range is key.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
You hate the mid range?
I like it, dude. I'm a Rockets fan that was like.
You were poisoned by
that was
D'Antoni.
loving the D'Antoni system where it was 3 or layup, like, and that's how I see basketball. It's like
I guess.
So that
I've had to like accumulate a generosity for
the mid range, it's a lost
for the
art form.
mid-range, yeah. It's one of those things where like you just have to.
You got to
And I didn't
defend the
even
mid
get it from
range.
watching the NBA. I got it from like playing.
Oh yeah.
Like I started to love the mid-range game because of the NBA. It was not because of the NBA at all, because the NBA is really just
No, it's literally a lost art form in the NBA.
Well, I will say, like,
Yeah,
if you look
as
at
it
the
should be.
Suns, like a lot of like Chris Paul thrives in the mid range. Devin Booker, probably one of the best mid range shooters in the league. Same with Kevin Durant.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like I'm going to speak with an amount of personal bias here. My favorite player of all time is Tracy McGrady.
my favorite player of all time is.
Oh, yeah.
Butler, so you got good
I'm a big fan of Dirk.
And T-Mac was like one of the smoothest offensive games ever, and he had a lot of mid-range shots, and he just made it look so beautiful. He really did. Because I see basketball as an art form.
It really is, dude. Like
is.
the Jokic soundboard shuffle, beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, and you look at some of those. Rudy Gobert made a fadeaway jumper, by the way, last
Yeah,
night.
did you see the Kings bench get absolutely demoralized by that?
yeah, that was fun.
I would also be demoralized by that.
Dude, straight up, they were pissed.
It was like he hit him with a bam bam, and it rattled in like.
All
It
right.
was,
Wait, also, where are the Timberwolves?
The Timberwolves, okay, I actually wanted to get to that. The Timberwolves are ranked 7th. Right now, we would get a rematch of Memphis, Minnesota in the first round, as we had last year.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, what fell? What'd you break?
Fix mine real quick while we're at it.
Quit breaking our equipment.
I actually have no awards.
We'll be right back. We'll be
Pause
right
for
back,
technical difficulties.
Oh, I found it.
All right.
Yo, help me out here.
Just
No, but it's like falling out.
Jesus Christ, we need new.
hey, if y'all are watching or listening, start a GoFundMe for the MSU
No,
Denver
for real.
Met
Like-
radio
There we go.
equipment.
There we go.
Please and thank you.
We need new Shure mics.
We just need new everything. We need a new equipment room. Like, where was the school?
New
The
mic
school
arms,
built
new
their own
mixers.
podcast studio, yet they couldn't fund the one they currently had.
That shit aggravates.
The one over there
It's
is
fine, though.
newer or what?
It's brand new. It just opened up last semester over the summer.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
Last year.
literally last summer.
Spring.
No, last summer.
They started it last
Yeah, but they
spring.
finished it over the summer.
Okay.
Oh, they were telling us that they were already letting people record.
I hate it here.
Yeah.
I truly
Back
hate
to
it here.
business.
Yeah, sorry.
Minnesota, Memphis in the first round. That will be sad, and I think this year is going to show the Timberwolves that it's like, we can't keep going this.
Well, you
and
have
they
to
will-
remember they don't have playoff Pat Bev.
They don't have playoff Pat Bev, who, like, after winning the playing game, acted like he was Kobe holding the fucking trophy.
I'm sorry, but I think trading away Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt was their
That's one of the
beginning
dumbest
to
things
the
they ever did.
downfall.
Yeah.
It was the beginning of the downfall.
Here's what I say, though.
Jared Vanderbilt is a good, serviceable power forward. He will lock up people on defense.
He locks me up.
He's good.
Vando.
He's a good.
And
love Vando.
he was a Denver Nugget, and we let him go way too early. I
We
believe.
also let Malik Beasley go way too soon.
Yeah.
Man. We could talk about any number of guys that we were like, he ended up being
doses. But
The Nuggets have let a lot of guys go.
I know, and now Vlatko is finally getting rotation minutes, and he's showing why we held on to him.
Hang on.
Shut up.
The Memphis Grizzlies are going to sun the Timberwolves,
Yeah, they are.
and the Timberwolves are going to trade Karl Anthony Towns in the offseason.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
For sure, so that they can get more.
So they can get more cap space because I think we're realizing that Karl Anthony Towns is not made for the playoffs.
He's not.
We saw it, like the two playoffs that we've seen him in, 2018 with Jimmy Butler, and then last year. He played
He played better in college. With
Yeah.
He's played since he's been. In the
yeah.
NBA.
And it's a shame because he was like one of those like can't miss number one overall, like whoever gets the number one overall
Yeah.
pick is getting him.
I remember that season. That was a season with Karl Anthony Towns. They had the twins on the Duke team. They
That's his
had
girlfriend.
a really good
I'm thinking
point
of
guard.
off-season
They had like
I
solid.
think Booker was on that
Their
team.
starting five. I think all of their starting five went to the NBA
Yeah.
that year. And Karl Anthony Towns just like folded. I don't even say he folded because like he's a good center during the season if he has people around him that can
Yeah, I mean, like that's his main thing though, is that like, oh, you're a center that can shoot. Cool.
The best shooting center in the league.
You're the best shooting center in the league.
A true 7 foot.
Yeah, a true 7-footer, but I just don't know what it is. I was watching that Memphis series last year, and it's like he forgot how to play. It's like that scene in Space Jam where the monster,
The
where the basketball.
yeah, they
players
get all their
just-
talent stolen, and like Barkley's like breaking free throws and shit.
Over here, it doesn't really matter much, but if that is the matchup, Timberwolves have slow-mo now, Kyle Anderson.
Slow-mo Kyle Anderson
So
is a great
it'd be
player.
a little his old team.
Kyle Anderson used to play for the.
He did.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Played his old team.
He got traded. Dylan Brooks plays his position.
Yeah,
now.
I believe so.
I think Dylan Brooks.
No, Kyle Anderson was.
I
a
love
shooting
Kyle
guard.
Anderson.
No, he's a forward.
All right,
He's a 3-4.
All right, either way, you look at the Timberwolves. You got aging Mike Conley. Woof.
Yeah, on a huge stupid contract.
Who was hooping the other night?
No, don't get me wrong. He's still
Mike Conley's
hoops.
not
He's
bad.
still hoops, but like
Yeah.
trading to the Timberwolves did not help his career. Like him on the Jazz, that was good for him. That was great
yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
Rudy has had a off year.
Can we?
Like he is not
It's
blocking
the
his many
spacing
shot.
problem.
It is.
What were you gonna say?
Can we say they get swept by the Grizzlies?
Get
I
swept?
agree.
I think
agree.
they get a game. I think they get a game.
I think they get.
I don't know. I think Anthony Edwards is going to will them to one victory.
That kid can play, huh?
I think
That
that
kid can
Anthony
hoop.
Edwards and Mike Conley are going to do their damnedest in a game, and I think it's going to be really close. They're probably going to the Grizzlies are going to win by only 1 or 2 points.
Count out or something.
And it's going to be a really good game, but it's going to be.
I also think a lot relies upon if Steven Adams comes back because the big flaw with Rudy Gobert, which is why I don't understand why the Timberwolves traded for him. I don't understand why any team would trade for him. I mean, like he's a regular season defensive monster, and it's like, cool. However, when the Jazz got beat by the Clippers that one year, it was the year that the Clippers went to the conference finals, 2021. It was, but they played small, and they were switching Rudy out onto the perimeter all the time, and he couldn't guard out there because he is slow-footed. I think of all centers besides Nikola Jokic, he may be the most slow-footed center in the league.
He is. But Jokic, Rudy. But Jokic can guard though.
And Jokic can
yeah.
shoot.
And Rudy can't. I don't know.
No.
Rudy's like
Rudy.
No. If
no.
going off of what you said, if they get Steven Adams back, game over. Bye, Rudy. Bye.
Steven Adams is such a good fit for them.
He is,
in every
dude.
way.
He is a great. He is an offensive rebounding machine.
I was gonna say that was the Valanciunas.
Yeah, they swapped.
Yeah, they swapped.
It was so weird that they swapped Adams for Valanciunas. It's like, oh, it's the same
They
guy.
both fit on those.
No,
teams.
Well, because
it's the true fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
Valanciunas is such a better player.
He is. Well, they serve it. They cater to his abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Same with the Grizzlies for Adams. Like
Yeah.
they were playing Valanciunas on the Grizzlies how they play Adams now, and that is that's great for Adams. He is a defensive center. Like he's not going to put up points, but he will rebound and get.
And I mean, you have Jaren Jackson Jr.
The block panther.
he's defensive player of the year right now.
He is.
He's definitely gonna come through and put
No,
up.
exactly.
So I don't think it's necessarily Steve Adams has to.
He doesn't.
He's found a team where he works completely with.
He has a weakness though.
Same thing with Valanciunas. He works perfectly within the.
His weakness though, which if he comes back, I would like to exploit it if if the Nuggets meet Memphis in a series. Steven Adams cannot shoot a free throw to save his fucking life.
No, he cannot.
He's what, 56% from the line? Teams will do the hack of Steven, and it'll work.
The hack of Plumlee when we play the Clippers ultimately.
Shut up, man. We had him. He was good.
Don't get me dog. I love Plum Dog Millionaire with all my heart.
Every time I think of Mason Plumlee, all I can think about is the bubble.
Oh, don't mention it. Don't.
Where they subbed him and he was just lost as hell on the court. They didn't tell him where to go.
Goes under that screen.
Wait, who are we playing that series? Who are we playing?
It was the Lakers.
He
Anthony Davis game.
He smoked that LeBron pack and it showed.
Yeah.
Man.
He's like, wait, I'm playing?
That shit was so funny. And then didn't Mason Plumlee get sent to the
He went
to Detroit. He went to Detroit for a season. Then he went to the Hornets. Now he's on the Clippers.
Yeah, and he
actually did good.
He was having a great year. He was having a career year on the Hornets, and now he's a backup on the Clippers again.
Who is the starting center for? Is it Marcus?
No, Marcus and
Zubac.
It's Ivica Zubac. Yeah,
and he's a good center as well.
He is.
And Batum.
Oh yeah,
Nick Batum had a great game the other night.
I love Batum.
Batum is a slept
He
on
is.
name.
He always has been. Even his days in Charlotte. Finally got him out of there.
He's always consistently doing what he has.
But no, I'm ready to smoke on that Marcus Morris pack. I'm ready.
I don't even know if the Clippers make it out of the first round.
I hope they do, just so we can put them in their place.
I think they make it to the second round.
I want to put them in their place.
Well, okay, if the season ends today, you think Phoenix loses in the first round of the Clippers?
100%. They don't have Durant. They're screwed.
That'll be such a disaster. If the Suns all this lose.
Honestly, I don't think that the Suns have good enough chemistry with Durant.
I don't think
Durant makes.
I mean, their flaw is their depth. Because they traded away Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges, their best defender.
Yeah.
Jay,
look at me. He's Kevin Durant.
Yeah. He's Kevin Durant.
He's KD.
He is him.
I mean, he took the Bucks to Game 7 by himself.
He did. But
I think that, let's say we get a healthy KD, we get a healthy Chris Paul, we get a healthy DeAndre Ayton, and we get a healthy D-Book.
It's a lot of offensive fire.
Who was taking the most shots on that court? And who's doing, obviously CP3 is going to assist. He's okay.
Yeah, he is.
It'll be Booker.
I
think Durant is okay taking 12, 13 shots a game.
Yeah.
And letting Booker shoot 20.
They have DeAndre Ayton too.
Yeah.
Ayton, I love Ayton. I really do.
He's good.
Yeah. He's one of my
He was so good in their playoff run.
Oh yeah,
dude. It's hard to hate him. It really is.
It's easy to hate Chris Paul and shit.
Dude.
Yeah, Ayton's a great guy. From this, I just feel bad in Phoenix because there was that whole controversy of are they going to give him the contract extension? And it's well, he deserves it.
He does.
He's the only one of those guys from the 2018 draft class where you think of Luka and Trae Young and Michael Porter Jr. and Jaren Jackson Jr. and all these big names that are starting to come up in the league. He's the only one who's made the finals.
That was.
Oh shit! Yeah. You're right. That's fair. Holy.
He's the only one who has made it that far.
That's wild.
Which is another thing that I want to mention.
That's crazy because that draft class is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it is.
Jesus. I mean, obviously we see Luka and his whole thing.
And Trae Young with the Hawks.
And Marvin Bagley.
I was just going to say Bagley, number one player in the nation, regardless of class.
I don't think that the Hawks get very far this season.
Sorry, bro, they don't.
Even as a Hawk fan, we're not getting very far. But I think that this season sets us up for us to do a lot.
Unless you do some jockeying in the standings, or if Boston overtakes Milwaukee, you're cooked.
You're cooked.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, we're going to get cooked.
Which is just a shame because I was really happy with the DeJounte trade for you. I thought that was a great move.
It's a great move. I think.
Wait, y'all
That's why I say I think this season sets us up really nicely.
Y'all got DeJounte from the Spurs, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that was a good move.
I also think...
And we traded... It was a 3-way trade.
I forget who else was in that trade.
Hunter.
DeAndre Hunter?
No. I mean...
I was going to say,
Hunter,
that was the deal that sent Kevin to the Kings.
Yeah.
To the Kings, yeah. It was a 3-way between the
Bro,
Spurs
Red
and
Velvet
the
popping off
Hawks.
this year.
But couldn't do it when he was in LA.
Sucks, bro.
One other thing I wanted to bring up.
But I also feel like that's also partially because of Trey.
Trey?
Yeah, because the first season that they were on the team together, they cooperated very well. Like, they were dishing to each other, and they were very much in sync. The next 2 seasons after that, you could see that, like, management just, like, started to decline Herter's playtime and how much he was on the court, and you could tell that they were not in sync as much as they were. So, like, when he got on the court, he wasn't just, like, getting dished an open 3 and, like, banking it. He would get dished an open 3 and miss it.
Yeah, and I just like Sacramento's offense is so fun to watch. I mean, they were in the second highest scoring game in NBA history not that long ago when they beat the Clippers 176-175.
Yeah, that shit was crazy, yo.
That game will define the modern era. That game will define how basketball was played in the 2020s because it's just like, holy shit.
There's no defense.
Beautiful. Love it.
There would be like, them boys
that was just
balling.
tough shot making. There was defense. I mean, you think of like the defenders that were on the court in that game, like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George.
Yeah.
It was just tough shot making for both teams.
And that's crazy because that's so, you said it was what, 175?
175, 176. Kings beat them at home by 1.
Versus, we've had I think I just saw that there was a game recently where the team won 87-85. That was that was the score.
In the National Basketball Association?
In the NBA.
It was, and so I'm pretty sure it was just like they weren't shooting as much, or either it was like 2 really good defense
or 2 really bad shooting teams,
or 2 really bad shooting.
I bet.
So like that's why I'm like that game is like the highlight and like the peak of what NBA players can do, and then we have other games that are just
god awful
all the way down here.
Could you imagine if we were doing this podcast in like the mid 2000s? Because like I remember like sometimes I'll watch old games on YouTube. Like the NBA right at the start of the pandemic, they made a bunch of like finals games free to watch on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And I watched San Antonio, Detroit, 2005.
Oh god.
That was a finals.
Yeah, Detroit was at one. Hard to believe Detroit was once good at basketball.
Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, Ben Wallace, Big Ben Wallace,
Ben Wallace,
Rasheed Wallace.
Okay.
However, I was watching Game 7 of that series. In the 4th quarter, the score was like 71-66 with like 5 minutes remaining in the 4th. That was how basketball was played in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Was like.
Because but also because people weren't dunking all over the place. People weren't shooting threes like that. People, like you said earlier, it was really like the 2-point like mid-range.
They call it.
That's what basketball.
They called it the
was.
dead ball era, simply because like teams were eating up so much of the shot clock because it was prior to the D'Antoni Suns experiment, which revolutionized basketball. And you had like Greg Popovich, great defensive coach, with like Bruce Bowen and Tim Duncan, like just locking down the post, and you had. The dead ball era was one of those strange occurrences where it's like a team got over 80 and you were like, oh shit, they're a good scoring team.
Yeah, no, that shit was, the early 2000s was wild. I think because I wasn't even into basketball in the early 2000s.
It's just there were so many bums in the league at the time.
Facts.
I don't think there was enough stars in the league for me to be interested in basketball around then. When Braun got to the league, I want to say I got into basketball right after the year right before he goes.
When Braun really
the
got
first
to
and the second
Miami
time
is when I got into things.
Braun to Miami?
Yeah.
The first time. Braun in Miami, like me.
No, that was cold, man.
Exactly.
That was a big 3 right there. Him, D Wade, and Chris Bosh.
That is the big 3.
And you had Udonis Haslem, and you had Birdman, and you had.
Udonis Haslem, old
as shit.
And Birdman,
old as shit now, but like back then he was still.
No, Birdman lives back in Colorado now. He
Denver Nuggets legend.
Facts. One of the guys I coach on the baseball team, his uncle owns a gym out in Arvada, and Birdman works out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out
Birdman.
Chris Anderson.
Birdman is turned into a musclehead.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not surprising.
He's scary.
He is. I would not fuck with that man.
Speaking of LeBron,
I'll see that man on TV.
That is a 6'10" tatted up man who looks like he belongs on the streets.
Did you see him in the big 3?
Yeah,
like he's a big dude.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He works out my buddy. Like my buddy's gym. It's a powerlifting gym.
Oh, okay.
I have a homie that goes to
Yeah.
they're
My brother's a professional
those dudes are
powerlifter.
all just
So
like fucking.
Those dudes are huge. Like they have a roid problem in powerlifting.
No
but
way,
god
dead
dang, dude.
Speaking of LeBron, do
LeBron's
the Lakers
back.
make the playoffs?
Nope.
No.
Braun ain't. You can't be saying Braun's back if his team don't make the playoffs. Shut your mouth.
I'm just glad that Braun.
Meat rider.
I can't be glad that my guy not
Meat
injured.
rider.
Lakers are currently the 9th seed.
I don't
One
think-
less
I
loss
think
than
that
Oklahoma City, but
D'Lo is day to day.
D'Lo is day to day.
LeBron is always going to be day to day at
Yeah.
this point. AD is doing
The
really well
GOAT.
this season,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think that LeBron is going to be consistent enough in the last part of the season for them to like really do what they need to do.
It's just like they've been winning so much more since the Westbrook trade that it was like I remember where I was.
because D'Lo is fucking
Yes.
fat. That's why.
I remember where I was when they made the Westbrook trade, and I will tell my children it was one of the dumbest days of my life. Like, why? Why in God's name would you trade for Russell Westbrook? Why would you trade everything like for Russell Westbrook?
that's when they assembled.
Just for him not to even end up
the
on the
veteran-
team.
That was the same year they assembled the veteran Avengers with like Melo and
With
everything.
Melo and Dwight Howard and Trevor Ariza getting minutes in 2022.
Shout out to Ariza, man. He was a piece in those Rockets teams.
Shout out to
Oh,
him.
yeah.
Yeah, for real. Trevor Ariza was really that guy.
He was for a while.
in the 2010s.
But Lakers,
It's still a scary team. You got AD, you got Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. Like it's still a great team. It's a great lineup. Like just seeing recent Lakers history and
Bro, they
playoffs.
got Mo Bamba on the team. What?
they're not even playing him.
But they're not giving him
What?
minutes. Though. They gave him minutes in the first game that he was on there, and they haven't played him since.
Bro, and
they only gave him like 2 minutes.
they win and ship eventually. They got Scottie Pippen Jr.
You think they missed the playoffs?
Yeah, he just
Completely
I
or
don't think
completely
they,
or via
no,
the
no, no.
plan?
Like they get to the
Okay.
plan and either they don't make the plan or they make the plan and they get
The
knocked
Lakers
out.
are 2 fuck-ups away from being outside the playoffs. Because
Yeah.
Dallas is sitting at the 11th seed right now, but they are separated by 1 game from the Lakers. The next few games on the Lakers schedule,
And Dallas is still a
Oh, yeah.
team. Like,
Hit me with him. I'll tell you what
they've
happens.
done horribly since the
They played the
Kyrie trade,
Bulls.
but-
Where?
in Chicago,
Loss.
they play the Timberwolves in Minnesota on the 31st.
When?
That's a win. And then their last 5 games of the season, the home stretch for the Los Angeles Lakers to stay in the play-in race. Rockets in Houston.
Win.
Oh, like back to back
You know
to
what?
back to back.
We want them to win. We want the Lakers to win, and I want the Rockets to lose.
Every game I say that the Rockets are going to lose, I can just see it break a little bit of Ben's heart.
You say the Rockets and
This is the Lakers.
We're just looking at the rest of the Lakers schedule to see if they can stay alive.
you said the last.
The last 5
games,
games,
the Rockets
they have the
and-
Rockets on April 2nd in Houston. Then they have the Jazz in Utah on the 4th.
That maybe.
I don't know. Markkanen might go fucking nuts.
Marking it.
I'm
It
giving them a
also
loss.
depends on if LeBron
Give
plays
him a
that game.
loss.
I don't think
And
LeBron
how
misses
well-
another game this season.
I
Same.
I don't.
so?
I think he desperately wants it.
Yeah, he's gonna will. He's had quotes throughout the season where he's like, "Oh, I'm not missing the playoffs."
But Walker Kessler might also beat him these last few games.
That is true. I think we might see a generational Walker Kessler game against the Lakers.
Lori Markkanen.
Giving him the loss, 2-2.
I'm gonna give him.
All right, then on the 5th, this is a back-to-back on the road. They play the Clippers.
Oh.
Loss.
They win at home when it's home.
Yeah.
they win at home. Clippers win.
Okay. So that's 2 and 3 for the Lakers.
Because I'm assuming that PG will be back by then.
And then they play the Suns
Loss.
at home on the 7th.
Loss.
2-4.
And then the Jazz at home on the 9th.
And let's just at that point say they split the Jazz series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have a tough
They
road.
go 3-4 to end
Yeah.
the season.
They have a 3-4 to end the season, and Dallas is desperately trying because Luka doesn't. At what point do we start to look at Luka as kind of like
A Denver Nugget?
No, not a Denver Nugget. More just like a can you win when he's the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, look at the rest of the team around him. I'm sorry. We've talked about,
I'll still say that, I'm so glad that the Hawks took Trey instead of.
Whoa.
No. Hey, now.
Okay. Yeah.
Fair. But also,
I mean, they both made a conference finals at this point, and they both got fucked
Yeah.
on in that conference finals.
There's not much difference between the two of them.
Yeah.
Except for that Trey is really good at the 3, probably better than Luka, and Luka's probably better at the 2.
Yeah,
But Luka's a better finisher.
Yeah.
Just because he's bigger.
And he finishes at the
bigger.
rim better. Yeah.
But I mean, you also look at the Mavericks, and besides Kyrie now, they have nothing surrounding those.
They don't
two.
have a legitimate center.
They don't.
On that.
They don't have Tim Hardaway.
No, they have.
Wait, is he traded in the?
No, Hardaway's still there.
But he's not producing.
Okay.
He's not producing, but he hasn't been like a great. He hasn't been like a consistent like offensive guy the entire time he's been in Dallas.
Yeah.
Who's
rotating?
Fucking Trae Young lollipop man. It's funny. It is funny. It does.
You got Dwight Powell. You got Dwight Powell. You can put Christian Wood at center. You got Maxi Kleba, Davis.
You got Maxi Kleber.
Davis Bertans.
That's not a bad.
But you also got JaVale McGee.
It's shooters who can't defend, and that is the Dallas Mavericks.
Plus JaVale McGee.
JaVale, he might get minutes.
All you
Mavericks
did
legend.
by adding Kyrie is just added another person who can make better crosses.
No, there's a reason they are struggling other than Kyrie and why am I blanking? Luka, goddamn. Come on, man.
You're good.
All right, going into the East.
Gotta talk about the East a little more.
Just run through
The top 8 right now is Milwaukee in first, Boston in second, Philly in third, Cleveland in fourth, New York fifth, Brooklyn
My
sixth.
Brooklyn Nets.
Wait, did you say New York is
New York is fifth in the East.
in the Hawks?
Yeah.
Are 8?
Yes, and then the play-in is Miami, Atlanta, Toronto, and Chicago.
They paid Jalen Brunson like he's an all-star, and he actually is playing.
That was a great move.
And
Yeah.
Julius Randle
Yeah.
is
I
somehow
called him stupid.
taking 40 shots a game
Yeah.
and making about 15 to 18 of them.
Actually, damn me, you could.
Julius Randle's a really good
No.
player.
Don't
But-
put that man on a pedestal. Don't put that man on a pedestal.
My thing is he was really good when he played for the Pels. He was one of the only players actually keeping.
Yeah, but Julius Randle,
even though we were still in the bottom seed.
Julius Randle will take anywhere from 20 to 30 shots a game and not
miss.
Yeah,
most.
exactly.
Yeah.
But he'll make most of his shots on free throws and
up to
the three-pointer. But no, do not put Julius Randle on a pedestal. He is
Oh, no,
not
never
good.
that.
No,
57.
He's the third best player on the
57.
Who's
yeah.
second?
I would say RJ.
Don't you dare.
No, Barrett's having a career low year.
RJ,
You could put IQ.
I haven't
IQ
looked at
over.
that.
my thing with RJ,
Over RJ right now.
my thing with RJ is the Knicks. If you're a Knicks fan, you're happy with RJ's progression. However, that man will score 21 points on 8 of 20 shooting
Up until
consistently.
that's Julius Randle too.
Randall just had a 57.
Yeah.
Yeah, Randle
puts up numbers. He's had like a better year than remember last year when the Knicks were like fucking losing again and everyone hated him and were booing him in the Garden.
Yeah, because he sucks. I stand by my hatred for Julius Randle.
Why?
What you say?
Good.
He's good, but
He's one of the best. I would say he's one of the best power forwards.
That's lefty LeBron.
Lefty LeBron.
2 games
Without the speed.
2 games ago. 2 games after his 57-point performance,
Which was a loss, but
yeah. By the way, that was 19 for 29. By the way, then after that, 7 for 6,
We only missed 10
7
shots.
for
That's not bad.
16, which is good, serviceable, but still a decline.
That's about half. Yeah.
Game after that, 7 for 20.
yeah.
I don't want to
Julius
hear
Randle. Who are they playing? Who are they playing that game?
Orlando.
That was Orlando. Okay, yeah. There's no excuse. There's no excuse, Julius.
yeah,
That's
that's
what.
They would play Cleveland, they lose.
Yeah.
Because who's even guarding him?
Paolo.
Nobody. Paolo.
Paolo's really guarding him. Paolo and Franz Wagner are
he
getting
should-
switched off.
And then
Julius.
10 for 19 against Houston. Sorry, Ben.
That's what you want.
I see Franz Wagner. I can see Franz Wagner.
And Moritz.
I can't see.
Moritz, maybe.
I can't see
No.
Monchero.
No, but I am happy with Paolo. I like Paolo
yeah.
Banchero.
Me too.
Yeah, I do. He's
Yeah.
pretty
I
good.
don't know about him.
Hey now,
He did
hey now.
better. He's doing better than I thought he would
Yeah,
have done.
considering he spent 1 year in college and he wasn't a refined
I
product.
say I don't know about him because we didn't get the number 1 pick.
I think he should have spent more time in college. I don't think he should have gone to the NBA so
Who does he remind you of? If there's any guy that you could possibly compare Paolo Banchero to.
What's he do? I don't know.
He plays what?
Small forward,
Small
power
to
forward,
power.
center.
Small to power.
They'll put him at center occasionally.
Yeah, because they like to run that small ball out because they have so many fucking guards on that team between Cole Anthony and
Cole Anthony.
Jalen Suggs and
Yeah, there's a lot of.
And Markelle Fultz.
Hoopers?
Yeah.
he reminds me of a late stage Blake Griffin.
Oh.
Late stage Blake Griffin. Not
Like-
talking Lob City.
Well, because he can
No,
shoot a little.
I'm
yeah.
talking like Detroit.
Yeah,
bit
when
more
he's
like-
shooting the 3.
Not as refined, but just the model.
He's quicker.
I would say he reminds me more of like a Pascal. Pascal, but not prime Pascal.
Pascal's still in his
not
prime.
When they won the
Are we in Pascal's
That's what
prime?
I'm saying. Like, are we? I
We're
think
in
we're
his
still
prime.
in
We're
Pascal's
in
prime,
his
but
prime.
like I'm talking about like his peak when they won.
Okay.
I'd say a little bit of Bam in there.
I don't think he's.
Bam.
I don't think he's
Yeah.
as good as.
I'd say a little bit of Bam.
I just feel like,
Yeah.
what is he, like
I can
6'7",
Yeah, how
6'8"?
tall is he? I was just gonna
Paolo,
say.
no, Paolo's 6'10".
Paolo's 6'10"?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks.
He does
small on
not
TV.
play.
He's
He does
big.
not play like he's 6'10".
He doesn't.
Do we say like?
Which is crazy. He's taller.
Do
than
we
LeBron.
do we say he plays like a Jokic then?
No. He
Good
does not play
answer.
like you
Good answer.
at all.
Oh my God, Michael Carter Williams
Yeah,
is on
he's
the Magic.
6'10",
Wow.
250.
Yeah, he's still in the league.
He's 250.
Paolo? He's dense.
6'10",
He's dense.
250.
Holy fuck! Yo.
That's a big boy right there.
That dude is
He
lean.
does not look 6'10", 250.
He does
doesn't
not.
move like he's
That's
6'10",
crazy.
Hey,
250.
meanwhile, Bol
impressive.
Bol is 7'2", 220. Stick figure.
Not surprised.
Stick figure.
I remember Bull.
I think
I
he-
don't miss
Shut up,
Bol.
Bol,
He
man.
also reminds me of Jimmy Butler.
Oh,
Jimmy-
that's
Young Jimmy
good
Butler.
comparison.
Like,
Good comparison.
like Chicago Bulls, Jimmy. Yeah. that's
Chicago
good.
Jimmy.
Chicago
good.
Jimmy was a different Jimmy.
I respect
Yeah,
that.
I love
That's
Chicago
facts.
Jimmy. Chicago Jimmy made me.
That's
love-
my Jimmy Butler.
That's
That's
watched
the
him.
only Jimmy I respect.
Yeah.
Speaking of
watched
Jimmy,
him.
Miami.
you think the Miami Heat do anything this year?
No.
They're 7th. Right now, as it currently stands, we would get a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Finals. We would see Boston, Miami in the first round.
in the
Two-
first
that's the
round.
two
They're getting
seven.
knocked out. That's the first round.
I will say the Celtics have been kind of weird lately. They just lost to Washington by like 19 last night.
Fully healthy.
Fully healthy with Brown, Tatum, Smart.
Wait, what?
So it's
Okay.
Boston versus.
Boston, Miami in the first round if the season ended tomorrow.
That's a 2-7.
It's a 7-game series.
Whoa.
I could see that.
I
'Cause
could.
Jimmy
Boston
goes to
wins,
another
though.
level.
Okay. Yeah.
Biz-
You're
Bo-
right.
Boston
He
wins.
does
Boston
do that.
wins.
Because the rest of the people who are playing for Miami are not going to do enough.
Yeah. It'll be like.
Jimmy, like you said, Jimmy's going to ball out, and just like every other year, the rest.
It'll
of
be
us are
like
not gonna pick it
the
up. That's
the
what
finals,
they
the
do.
picture of Jimmy, after the finals game against the Lakers.
Over the
Yeah.
bench.
He'll get
Yeah.
he'll go off 1 or 2 games
gonna be
and,
that.
and get him.
It's just they fucked him over, man. They really did with like, oh yeah, we got you Kyle Lowry. It's
Yeah.
Big Booty Lowry.
Big
I mean,
booty.
yeah, what, Victor Oladipo before that? Or does he still have
no.
Oladipo?
Depot.
Who's
I thought he still played for them.
He does.
Who's
Hold
Depot
up.
now? I swear he still plays.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, you're right. My bad.
But
Their
but
most recent
still.
game.
But yeah, he's
Still.
benched. He's been hurt the last few years.
Yeah, I mean,
They got Kevin Love now.
he played in their last game.
Oh.
Yeah.
for
He
real?
played. Okay, yeah, no, Kevin Love is starting on the Heat.
Okay, so they have Jimmy, Kevin,
Bam
Love,
Adebayo.
Bam,
Tyler Hero.
Lowry.
Tyler Hero, and
Kyle Lowry, but
That's
Lowry.
a solid
yeah,
five.
that's a
That's a
Lowry
solid
got
five.
benched. Lowry got benched in their last game.
Who's their starting 5?
Last game was Kevin Love at the power forward, Bam Adebayo at center. He had a pretty good game, 21 and 12.
I like that after the LeBron era, people are putting Kevin Love.
Yeah,
back where
Gabe
he was.
Vincent. Gabe Vincent started at point guard. He had 2 points on 1 of 5 shooting.
Trash.
Tyler Hero.
Was Kyle injured?
No, he just came off the bench. Butler
But
didn't play.
Kyle went 1 for 6.
Yeah.
Oh,
Trash. 0 for 4 from 3.
And then Tyler Hero balled the fuck out. He had 33, 6, and 3 on 13 of 21.
Yeah,
Bad boy
6 of 10 from 3.
And then Oladipo started, had 7 points.
Is Tyler Hero still a true 6
okay.
man?
That's
He's been
still-
he's been starting out of like sheer necessity for him.
Yeah,
Tyler.
Oladipo.
He's
I,
not a 6
I like Tyler Hero.
I like.
He was great off the
Tyler.
bench. Fuck, he won
He's
6
a-
Man of the Year
yeah.
last year.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's a great player.
But
I don't think. Yeah, they don't.
Bruce Brown's winning 6th Man of the Year this year.
he's not. It's going to be Malcolm Brogdon.
Shut your whore mouth. Malcolm is playing for who again?
The Celtics?
Makes sense.
Yeah. I think the other guys that you might want to put in like 6 Man of the Year convos,
Bruce.
Bruce, he has fallen off lately.
Shut your mouth.
He has.
Shut your mouth. I don't want to talk about it.
On the topic of that, you wanna hit the awards?
The awards?
MVP. There's only
MVP.
The only reason Jokic doesn't get it is voter fatigue.
Yeah,
But if you
because-
had a vote.
Jokic.
if I had a vote,
He's the
it's
one
going
seed.
to Jokic.
Let them to the 1 seed.
it's got to
If
be
I get a
Jokic.
vote,
It's
it's
going to
gonna be
Jokic,
Jokic.
especially after Embiid not even sitting on the bench the other
Literally
night.
ducked
That
the
is
smoke.
soft man. He does not deserve. He slides down all the way in my rankings.
He's 2.
Soft man.
He's 2 this week. He moved from 1 to 2.
He'll slide down even more.
I think if it's not Jokic,
it has to be Embiid. It's everyone's debating it right now. The 2 best centers in the league.
I kind of want it.
But it doesn't need to be a center. That's the thing. I feel like everybody, because they're the 2 best centers, that doesn't mean that they're playing.
Well, I mean, the top 3 right now is.
I mean, Jokic.
The top 3 is Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis.
Yeah.
Because Giannis is the 1 seed in the East. He has the best record in the league.
I don't see Giannis getting it.
I just feel like
I can only see Jokic getting it out of those.
we just saw the Bucks win without Giannis, which is what kind of sells it for me. However, I kind of want it to go to Embiid. I want it to go to.
I don't think Embiid is.
I want it to go to Jokic, but 3 MVPs, and if he doesn't win the finals this year, they are going to shit on him.
They're going to dog.
Dude,
it's not just Jokic. They're going.
But it's going to be the same thing that happened to Dirk in the late 2000s, where he won MVP and then lost to the We Believe Warriors in the first round. Everyone's like, "Oh, Dirk's a fraud. Dirk's a fraud."
Dirk's not a fraud.
But at the time, that was the picture.
I know.
That was what we believed of Dirk, because it's like, well, if you're so good, then why can't you get past the We Believe Warriors in the first round with Jason Richardson and Matt Barnes and O'Donnell Foyle? Like, come on, man.
Tragedy.
I'm trying to think about who else.
Giannis.
Yeah.
That's been the.
I can't even think, like, outside of those 3. I
got the odds up right now, and it's Jokic, Embiid, Giannis, and Tatum in that order.
Tatum is the only other person.
Tatum's been bad post All-Star break, though.
At plus 12,000 for
Plus 12,000.
And we'll see how he does.
And then the only other guys who you could think about giving it to, because like Ja, they're not going to give it to him because of the gun thing.
Because of the gun thing.
Booker, but I don't think they have the record. And then the only other guy who I've seen brought up at all is Steph Curry. But it's like, dude, your team is 3 games above 500. Fuck off.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that.
That's it. Defensive player of the year.
So actually, right now I was a little caught off guard. The favorite is Brook Lopez at minus 150.
Really?
And then Jaren Jackson Jr.
Brooks been having a good year.
I'd vote for Jaren Jackson.
I would vote for Jaren Jackson Jr. as well.
I would too.
However,
he's been a great
honestly
for the last 2 seasons.
I was gonna say for me it's a toss-up. Brooks having a great year as well, leading the Bucks. It's kind of hard to argue that, but also Jaren's having a phenomenal year as well. Like it's tough, man. It's tough between those 2.
I think that if Jokic wasn't Jokic the past 3 years, Jaren Jackson Jr. would have won Defensive Player of the Year before now.
By the way, these odds are...
Jokic is not a good defensive player, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Or not Jokic. Who won last year?
Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart did. Marcus Smart, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Smart guard.
That was 2 years.
Smart won last year, and then before that it was Gobert.
It was Gobert.
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously Rudy's not.
Rudy sucks.
No, I mean he's still a good defensive center.
He's a fraud. If we're talking about frauds, that man's a fraud.
He is not in the top. That's 6.
Damn.
Of defensive players.
I'm gonna throw out
who's in the.
Who else is in it? Because I have a name.
Brook Lopez, Jaren Jackson Jr., Bam Adebayo, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Evan Mobley, and Anthony Davis.
Where the fuck is Drew Holiday?
I was gonna say Bam.
This is
because
FanDuel
Bam,
Sportsbook odds, by the way.
I think if Bam had not done as well as Bam did when they went to the finals and the year before that, I think that Jaren would have.
It's going on well.
One of those years, because the Grizzlies were really good those years.
I agree.
This guy's got something to say, looks like.
Me? No. Oh, I was just going to say tech. I was going to say tech to Rudy for being a fraud.
Oh. That was a tech in that time.
I am very upset that Drew Holiday is not on that list. He's the best. He's the best perimeter defender in the league today.
That is.
But they're going to.
Yeah,
but they just gave it to Smart.
They did just give it to Smart last year.
Yeah,
there is no guards on
really
here.
I get Mobley. I really appreciate that Mobley is getting award talk because
him and Anthony Davis both at.
You know what I'm surprised not on there? Nick Claxton.
Claxton? I don't think he's played enough minutes.
Shut up, boy.
But he's still leading in blocks.
He is leading in total blocks. I mean, I think he also leads the league in pure field goal percentage. Because all he does is dunk.
So does. Shit, why am I drawing a blank?
Who?
Never mind.
Bam?
No.
Bam takes middies.
No, I was good. Never mind.
Okay.
All right.
Pause, rewind.
But,
My bad.
I feel like, I don't know, the defensive player of the year always goes to a big man, and that's what made Smart so interesting because he was the first guard to win it since Gary Payton in like 1998 or something.
Really
valid.
Cool.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't see them. That's the only reason why I can't see Drew getting it or him even being in conversation because it was so rare that Marcus Smart got that award. Like, I remember everybody.
It was deserved.
Like, he deserved it.
I mean,
but like everybody was still like, holy shit.
Break the mold. Have more guards win it. Like Drew Holiday's having a successful season. Put him in the conversation.
Drew Holiday has a successful season like
that. Put him in the conversation, I mean.
I remember a couple of years ago, the Nuggets were in trade talks for him, but then they just faded away.
Boo.
I wanted to
However,
Drew. I would have became a Nuggets fan if you had Drew.
The thing is, though,
still not too late.
If we didn't, if we pulled the trigger on the Drew trade, I don't think we get Aaron Gordon.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, you don't. And you have to trade.
Yeah, we have to trade more pieces for Drew. I think it's just because the Pelicans didn't want to trade to like a conference rival, so they went to the East. They traded him to the Bucks.
Yeah. Well, also like they don't want to play against Drew.
Nah, dude.
And Drew was like also one of the only people on that team with Julius who was holding the Pelicans together.
Because Davis was nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Nah. Well, because that was also that.
No, he was found. He was just on the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, where he was beefing with management the
Yeah.
whole year, and that was stupid because they should have just traded him. They would rather have paid him for sitting on the bench than actually trade him to another team so he could actually play
Right.
basketball. It was so stupid. I hated that year.
I will say though.
Yeah, I think my vote for Jaren Jackson.
I think Brook Lopez. It comes down to like eye test versus stats, and I think Brook has better stats. But watching Jaren Jackson Jr. play defense,
he's got the better eye. Yeah, he's got the eye test for sure.
But I think Brook, like, because he's older, he's more slow.
He's a seasoned veteran.
But like he'll just stand in front of that and like knock it out multiple times.
I think Jaren. I like watching Jaren defend because
he brings athleticism to the table.
He brings athleticism to it, and he makes it an art form. He makes blocking.
His nickname is literally the Block Panther.
Yeah,
that's
like
dope.
he's
dope.
good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Literally, just give it to him based on nickname alone. Block Panther.
That's why I love the Grizzlies, bro, because everybody on that team is so young, but they're so fucking talented.
Except for, old man Steven Adams.
Shoutouts.
What's next?
Let's go Rookie of the Year.
And fuck Dylan Brooks. I actually don't fuck with Dylan Brooks.
Let's go Rookie of the Year, though.
Rookie of the Year?
Paolo.
Right now, it's Paolo is the favorite. Jalen Williams, Walker Kessler, of course, Benedict Mathurin, and then Keegan Murray.
I'm happy with all of them. I'm happy with
that top three is beautiful.
Performed.
That top three, I could take any of them.
I remember
just having a good year.
Mathurin started off as the favorite.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was good because, I don't know, he talked a lot of shit to LeBron in the offseason, and I thought that was funny for a rookie.
That was cool.
I think Jalen Williams, I don't know. Jalen Williams has had a great post-All-Star break.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if it's definitely Jalen Williams, if it's not Paolo.
But I think Paolo has just been more consistent. I know he missed time, and he's really inefficient. Like, that man, I think he went
Paolo's the heavy favorite.
I think he went, like, 1 of 33 in the month of, like, February or March from downtown. Like, he just could not shoot a three to save his fucking life. And, like, you look at Jalen Williams, that's all he does.
Yeah.
But I think it has to be Paolo just based off of, like, okay, you look like a good rotational player your number 1 year. Like,
you have potential to go other places and you can affect
you're not just a rookie who's buying into a system. Like, you would be good on any team. You would be a valuable asset that could be traded for.
Paolo on the Lakers?
That would be great. I don't know. It'd fuck up spacing because they're...
It would fuck up spacing, but I think that LeBron would
Yep.
Like, he figures out everything else for that organization.
Yeah.
LeBron just goes to any team and figures it out.
What's next?
Paolo's...
Yeah, LeBron goes to a team and the GM just quit.
The GM just sits at home, plays video games, plays 2K, gets...
Yeah. He plays 2K.
All right.
Yeah, so
bro hits the golf course.
Paolo's the heavy favorite for that. We're going to go to Most Improved now.
Most Improved.
Right now, believe it or not, right now it's Laurie over Shea.
Laurie.
Oh, actually, no. I'm Shea. That man.
And this one is close. So Laurie minus 360, Shea plus 300.
Shea.
I'm going Shea.
Gotta be.
Shea has been balling.
31.3 points per game. 31.
Everyone else that's not close to those two.
I remember when I went to the Nuggets game to see him, I remember being like,
God damn.
I kind of want OKC to win. Like,
he's
balling that hard. Like, Shea is one of those point guards that you can't.
He's putting up MVP numbers, and just because his team's not in the conversation, he'll be Most Improved.
I feel like the Jazz's record is somehow going to affect Markkanen getting the award because like Most Improved Player, it's not one of those awards that's like based on winning.
It's based. Well, it's not.
It's more based on like who took the biggest jump because like I remember when Brandon Ingram
won it last year.
Won Most Improved Player.
But he did it that year for sure. But the Pelicans tanked
Yeah.
that year.
I think just based on that, because like Shea was good last year too.
Yes.
There's a part of me that says Lauri Markkanen just simply because like he was like people hated him on the
I can see
people hated him on the Bulls because he wasn't. Let's be fair, he was not good on the Bulls.
He didn't do
No,
shit.
And then like
not.
last year on the Cavaliers, they were doing like this weird, like 3 tall, like where they were playing Jaren Jackson or not Jared Allen, and Mobley and Markkanen all in the starting lineup. That's 3 guys over 6'10".
Kind of dope.
Yeah.
No, literally, they're all over 7 foot. I
They all
thought.
can shoot.
Yeah.
Jared Allen can shoot.
Yeah,
Jared
Jared Allen's more of a dunker, right?
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
But I think Markkanen going to the Jazz and like becoming like what is he 24 a game,
25.
25 a game?
Yeah.
That's like a bigger leap. But I also think it's because like he's the guy.
I think that actually I retract my answer. I think it's going to be Markkanen.
Okay.
Because, like you said, Markkanen is one of those names that people didn't give a
Yes,
fuck
People
about.
still don't really talk about him.
Yeah, and they still don't respect him.
25.7.
Bulls
I think
games,
that
we liked him in
I think
Chicago.
that
Yeah.
Shea wins because you see Shea like ball
Yeah.
out more. People don't necessarily see Markkanen ball out like
Yeah.
Shea does. But I think, in my personal opinion, I think he's the most improved person because he had to step up and he has stepped up
Yeah.
in that role as like a role player in the
Right.
franchise.
Didn't list the other 3. I just will for fun, even though they're not close to the other 2.
Sure.
Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, and Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh.
Jalen Brunson,
All great.
Mikal Bridges,
All great.
another good pick.
McCall,
And I
Big
love,
fan of
I love
Bridges.
Tyrese too as an All-Star this year.
Yeah.
How about that?
I think Tyrese is just going to continue because I think he will be.
you said Tyrese
Yep.
Halliburton,
I think he's going to become the next Chris Paul.
Whoa.
Mhm.
I
but better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he can.
I think he's
a better
going to
shooter.
be a better
Chris Paul.
really.
Really.
because he's going to actually be
It's
able
a
to do
high
something.
ceiling.
That is a high fucking ceiling because like you look at prime Chris Paul like that.
That was insane.
I'm not talking like just like Prime. I'm
In
talking
general.
like whole career wise
Okay.
in general. I think that he's going to have a better career than Chris
He's,
I
Paul.
hope
better,
so.
he's a better scorer in his younger years than Chris Paul was.
But Chris Paul was also like, you saw who.
Yeah. All right. What's
Baron Davis was
yeah
like the best.
BD
person on his
and
team.
who else was on those teams? David West.
It was him.
David
David
West was on
West, him and Barrett Davis were like the big 3.
That leaves us with 6 men, which we kind of touched on.
But what are the odds?
As I said earlier, the favorite, who is better than RJ Barrett for the Knicks, in my opinion, IQ. Manuel Quickly, minus 230. Malcolm Brogdon, plus 170, and Bobby Portis, plus 4,600.
Bobby Portis, I honestly, he rotates too much between starting and coming off the bench.
So,
That is
yeah,
true.
you got
Yeah. I was also
Brogdon
going
or
to say
Quickly.
if he had been a 6-man like all year last
You
year,
would've won. Oh,
he
yeah,
would've
no
been
doubt.
then, yeah.
But because of those injuries, that
But you said it's
Quickly the favorite, Brogdon right behind him.
I kind of like quickly.
Me too.
I like Quickly, but I'm gonna say Brogdon.
I really like Emmanuel Quickly.
Only because I know how the NBA
Facts.
is.
Not messing with the
Brogdon.
favorites over there, huh?
I think Quickly. He's just had. He's like the perfect version of what Bones Highland could have been.
Facts.
Because he's like a short, dribble-heavy guard, but he can just get his shot off, and he hits it. He can finish.
Yeah, he's
he can
fast,
finish at the
he's
rim.
Nice.
Can he play a little defense,
I
though?
love
Yeah,
Quickly.
I mean,
Yeah,
a little. I mean, you put him on. I don't know. You put him on like Zach LaVine, or you put him on De'Aaron Fox. Like he can stay in front of the guy, but he's not like clamping him up. He's not making him shoot like 4 for 20.
Yeah, no. He's not
No.
Kawhi. He does not have a Hall of Fame claims back. But I think that Quickly is going to have like a really good career after.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
I think that
He might.
that's good.
This was the
Especially
turning point for him.
They continue to utilize him.
This was the turning point for the Knicks with him.
Yeah,
You know,
I think the Knicks have a lot of questions.
I can't believe the Knicks are fucking 5-8, dog.
Sorry.
That makes no
I'm
sense.
sorry.
Yeah.
RJ Barrett, bro.
It's okay because if we get to see him, we're gonna shut down Madison Square Garden again.
Yeah, I will say like
They are scared of that.
Oh,
Madison
bro,
Square
they're
Garden.
not,
still
they're not
mad
even
at him.
scared. You can go anywhere in New York City and somebody will start a fuck Trae Young Jay, and you will hear it for
Yeah.
blocks.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And that's how much.
I
they
know.
hate him. Yeah, he put that much damage
Bro,
on his soul.
rent New York, expensive, but for Trae Young, it's free.
all right, let's go to
That's it besides Coach of the Year.
Coach of the Year.
That's
Actually,
a lock for Mike Brown.
Mike Brown.
Kings.
That's no. It's Mike
doubt.
Brown's winning.
Him,
No doubt.
Missoula, or Malone are the top 3.
No, Mike Brown.
You know my feelings on Michael Malone.
We all know your feelings on Michael Malone.
He's third. He's third in odds.
I bet he is.
But
I
Kings
bet he
is
is.
doing what they did.
You gotta give it to him. You
it's a
gotta.
No, he completely revitalized that offense. It was amazing. Because, like,
That's beautiful.
who was it before? Fucking Luke Walton was their goddamn coach. And he was an idiot.
Shout out Luke Walton,
Luke
man.
Walton got fired from the Lakers just to
Didn't get fired from there.
Mid-season, right?
Yeah.
Bill,
Luke Walton is like the Kyle Shanahan of fucking
Kyle first off, Kyle Shanahan actually does good things. He's
Now.
still Luke Walton ain't.
Also, Kyle Shanahan is still the reason why all of his teams don't make it to the playoffs or to the Super Bowl. Like, the reason that we lost the Super Bowl in Super Bowl
Hey, now.
51 is because of Kyle
Hey, now,
Shanahan.
last year,
The reason why the 49ers did not go is because of
no,
Kyle
last
Shanahan.
year, this last year, it was because Brock Purdy tore his UCL.
Yeah, that's actually,
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
that
put-
one was
put
on-
respect.
yeah, that one was on the
Basketball
injury.
podcast.
This is a
But we were watching-
Basketball,
We were watching that
basketball
one.
podcast talking about a football player getting a baseball injury.
I mean, I did like the illusion of Kyle Shanahan. I think that's a fair assessment of Luke Walton.
Yeah, that's good.
Valid.
At least you know Kyle Shanahan went far.
Yeah,
sometimes. Luke Walton
yeah.
hasn't done shit.
yeah, Luke Walton. Don't you dare compare Kyle Shanahan to Luke Walton.
His best
I guess,
thing
okay,
is
he
that
wouldn't
he's the
be-
son of NBA legend Bill Walton.
Bill.
Yeah.
God bless him.
Luke's an NBA champion with the Lakers.
He did. He was on the Kobe. He was on the Kobe teams that won with Pat.
Yeah, but he
Does
cleaned
he have more
his,
rings than his dad?
he
Wasn't
cleaned
he on the-
Kobe's jock
wasn't he on
strap
the 2020
though.
championship team?
Who?
The 2020 championship.
No.
Walton?
Like, he didn't play, but he was on the coach.
I think he got fired after the bubble from the Kings. I'm pretty.
Wait. After the bubble? Oh, he was the Kings coach. In the
Yeah, I mean the Kings didn't go to the bubble, but
He has one more. He has
In the
one more
bubble
ring than his
season.
dad because 2009, 2010.
does he have a
Oh,
Finals
okay.
MVP like his dad?
Nope.
Actually, no. Bill Walton has 2 rings.
Really?
He won. Yeah, he was on the Celtics in the '80s. He won one with Bird.
He did. Didn't
Larry.
He?
That makes sense.
And as but as a coach, he has 3. 2015. Warriors.
Oh, he was on the Warriors coaching staff. Holy
Yeah.
shit, I forgot about that.
So who do y'all see making it out?
Making it out the East?
Toss it between the Celtics and the
Sixers and
It's the conference
Cavs.
final.
No.
Sixers or Cavs?
No.
Cavs, really?
Cavs could.
Cavs.
I trust Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs. I don't know if I trust Darius Garland.
Fair.
I don't trust Donovan Mitchell enough to trust him with.
Well, here's the thing. Every season of Donovan Mitchell's career, he's made the playoffs.
He's made the playoffs, but I don't think that. Just like Donovan Mitchell in the Jazz, in the playoffs, Donovan Mitchell is like the only motherfucker on the court putting.
Well, now he's got Garland, which remains to be seen,
And Mobley.
and
But
Mobley.
I'm saying like specifically in the playoffs because like when he had Mike Conley and all of them, like they were putting up numbers on a regular
Yeah.
season. Mike Conley was like his own.
They finished as a 1 seed one of those years as the Jazz.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, he had people around him that could do things, but when it came to the playoffs,
They folded.
they would do good in the first round, second round, and they folded in the conference
Yeah.
finals. But they were also playing LeBron, so
Yes, man.
I got to rewind real quick.
Uh-huh.
I'm sitting here thinking about how including as a coach, the Walton family has more rings than the Curry family.
Wait, okay.
the Curry family
Curry.
or the Kerr
Curry.
family.
Curry
As
family.
in Steph.
Well,
As in Steph
And
with
Dell.
4.
Steph.
That's
well,
it.
And Seth.
Dell never won anything. He won 6 minutes.
It's just Steph with 4.
It's just
the
Steph
Waltons
with
have 5.
It's just Steph. Yeah.
Bill Walton has 2.
'Cause
As a
Steph
player,
has
they have the
body part
same,
of
2 and 2.
Yeah.
Yes!
So it's 5.
That's 2 careers.
Yes!
Dear God.
Suffer Curry family.
Wait, doesn't Steve Kerr have like?
Steve Kerr has
Has like the most
Total
ever.
5 rings?
Like,
He has.
Well, he
6
was
or
on the
7,
Bulls
right?
three-peat, the second three-peat,
And then the Spurs.
Spurs.
so 4 and 4.
Yeah.
He's got 8.
Well, hang on. Didn't
Oh, plus Golden State.
yeah? Plus Golden State coach, he has 4. So that motherfucker has some jewelry.
8.
Yeah, he has both his hands. I've seen the
He's-
picture.
he's ready to
He
fill
has
it up.
Rings on like almost all
Damn,
his fingers.
Is he going to get all 10?
I don't think the Warriors.
I think.
I don't think the Warriors win another title.
Nah.
Yeah, that's
I don't think the Warriors win another title with Steph.
Do you think that's because of how the West looks right now? Or
I just think, look, Steph Curry's 35 years old. Klay Thompson is coming off of injuries that he will never be the same. You have all these questions of like who you're going to extend.
Draymond is gonna.
That's the
Draymond
thing.
going Draymond.
You don't know who's going to be on that team in 3 years when they have to
Yeah.
extend everybody because it's like, do we extend
Yeah.
Poole? Do we
Well,
extend
like-
Wiggins? Do we keep Kevon Looney? Do we
We
keep?
thought after KD was their last. Like, I feel like we're just going to, like, it's going to happen one more time where, like, they found a way again. The Warriors.
They're gonna keep.
I know they're. Well, no, Steph's going to retire.
Steph
Steph was-
retires a
yeah.
Warrior.
Yeah.
He will be a one-team guy his entire career.
But,
like
you
that's
know,
not an argument to be made. Like,
Man's
it's a
35.
fact.
I don't know.
I think Clay too, but I don't. If they let Clay go, they let him go as a free agent. They're not trading him anymore.
I don't know. I mean, you may be able to get some good value for Klay Thompson. Well, because he can still shoot. Like, that man could be 45 years old and tell him just like, look.
Like that clip.
Yeah, just stand in the corner and when we'll chuck it to you. Shoot threes.
Facts. It's not going to be like Udonis Haslem.
Clay out there somewhere.
No, it's not going to be like Udonis trying to fucking drive to the lane and just fall over because his knees can't fucking work anymore.
I mean, I don't know if Klay Thompson's knees work that well anymore, but
hey, he don't need them knees to stand behind the arc and just shoot.
That is true.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, see, I think they could probably trade Clay for some younger pieces, some other like younger core pieces and bench pieces maybe. But I don't think that he puts up too much more value. Like later down the line, like 3 years from now, Clay is going to depreciate.
Yes, he will.
Yeah.
All right, so that'll be
Clay right off the injury, like coming back in. Oh, he was like the golden ticket if they went to trade him. But now that people are seeing Clay play post-injury.
Do you think can you predict it? Do you think there'll be an upset in the playoffs this year?
Yeah.
Like a big upset?
My bad
in the
for
playoffs?
derailing that. We can do that and then like a finals preview. Right
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're good, man. I like this. This is nice.
Yeah. Because I'm gonna go.
Warriors technically wouldn't be an upset.
No, because it's the Warriors. I'm saying I see in some universe, as the standings are currently, which they're still subject to change because Miami could hop Brooklyn, but if the standings ended as they did today, I could see Brooklyn beating Philadelphia.
I see that.
I could see Brooklyn beating Philadelphia.
I see that.
In the first
Me
round.
too. I'm still riding with my Nets.
Without Embiid, they're kind of struggling.
They can
Without Embiid.
Yeah,
without Embiid, but
They're not gonna
Harden's like
steal them.
75%. Harden just came back from injury too.
do you want to talk about playoff jokers? Where is Joel Embiid in that conversation?
Playoff chokers? Oh, yes, I fucking hate people who root for Joel Embiid in
Yeah.
the playoffs because he's awful in the playoffs. That's why I don't think that Joel Embiid deserves MVP ever. Because he talks so much shit during the season too, and then as soon as like he starts doing bad during the playoffs and they lose because of Joel Embiid,
And unfortunately, it is called the regular season MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can see, like, because we all know that Harden... I'm sorry, Ben.
I'll die on the hill that he's not a choker, but the evidence is there. Hit me with it.
No, you're good, man.
I'm just saying, like, you look at James Harden's playoff resume.
Yeah.
Like, during the regular season, there are a few men...
I don't think you have enough to go off of.
James Harden's playoff resume?
Yeah, I don't think you have enough to go off to call him specifically a choker and like saying like he's the reason.
I mean, I remember there was one game I remember where because I back in 2019 I thought that he should have won MVP over Giannis, and I stand by that.
Yep.
You know, averaging 36, only two other guys have done that, and their names are Wilt Chamberlain and Michael Jordan.
Yep.
And I was like, all right, yeah, no, give it to Harden, but Giannis won it just because he was on the best team in the East and stuff like that. In the bubble, there was a game in the second round, Rockets-Lakers, where I wasn't able to watch the game. I was doing something, but I looked at the box score, and I saw that James Harden finished with like 22, 23 points. And I was like, it's not great for a playoff game for James Harden.
Yeah.
But then I looked at his field goal percentage, and it was like 20%. And I was like, well, how the fuck did he get all the points? He shot like 20 of 22 from the line.
Yep.
And I was like, that's James Harden.
That makes sense.
Oh, foul line. Yeah. And then they changed the rule like the next season.
Yeah.
Well, they've been trying to, but they're still
the
calling
next
bullshit fucking fouls, which is like a big problem I have with the refs.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll still watch the NBA. But
They nicknamed it the Harden rule and gave it to him like the worst. Like they're calling it for him less, but other guys still get away with shit.
You know who benefits from it the most, and I fucking hate it, is Chris Paul. Yeah. Chris Paul and the goddamn rip-through foul, which it was the Kevin Durant foul for all those years.
They're good at what they do.
I know. It's just
their team together.
That's one of those things that I dislike about Chris Paul is the flopping.
Yeah. That's probably my biggest pet peeve
Yeah.
with Chris Paul. Because he doesn't.
He's a very skilled ball-handling guard.
He just doesn't like it. I feel like that's also because he's getting older. Oh, he's seen all of his peers, not all of his peers, but he's seen LeBron do what LeBron has done. Melo, I think that Chris Paul feels like Melo.
At least Chris Paul went to the finals.
At least he's on a team.
You know, at least Chris Paul got to the finals. Melo never got close.
Melo.
But I think that Chris Paul
was his closest dead ass.
I was about to say 09 he was in the finals.
With Chauncey Billups. And when we got fucked on by Kobe.
Yeah.
And the refs.
And the refs, but mostly Kobe.
Yeah.
Bastards.
But
no, Chris Paul.
Like, Melo is a great.
Yeah.
Something that's fun to talk
historical.
about.
Like, he's going to go down in history. He's going to go in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, no doubt.
He's
top 10 in
top
points
10 in
all time.
scoring. Yeah, he's 7 right now.
But he's never.
I think he's just past Elvin
I
Hayes.
think that because he's never won a finals, that's why Chris Paul is, and everybody else that they were like close with in that time, Banana Boat Crew. Everybody else has won a championship in that team.
Yeah.
Except for them.
Yeah.
Those are the only two players who.
Well, because LeBron
and that's why Braun was going to have CP3 come instead of Melo to LA, but Phoenix wasn't.
No, Phoenix would never make that trade. Because it's like, oh, we're literally in the same division as you. We're both in the Pacific Division. Why are we giving you?
Had Braun had CP3 instead of Melo that season, they might have been able to do it a little bit better. You got assist king with another assist.
Yeah.
Melo's 11.
With the
He's
all-time
just had a
scoring
second
king
top
now, technically.
Well, let's go to.
I don't think they make.
No, go ahead.
I don't think they make Western Conference
Lakers?
Finals. Last year with Chris Paul?
no.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, like,
if that's the only change in the team.
look,
Chris
only
Paul,
Rob.
Melo,
I know. Only Rob Pelinka could have been as stupid to do the Westbrook trade originally. I don't think Suns ownership would have touched Russell Westbrook with a 10-foot pole.
No.
I don't know. Especially
I'm surprised fucking Steve Ballmer touched Russell Westbrook with a 10-foot pole.
Bro, like, hey, whatever he did, it's
But it's
somehow
also
working.
because, like, while Braun was out, Westbrook was putting up some.
But that's how Westbrook works. It's like he needs to be the guy, and it's like, hey guys, we finished 41 and 41, and that's Westbrook.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got 15 triple doubles this
Let's
season.
go. Like when he was on the Wizards, like he was putting up those numbers where it's like, Jesus, he had like 28, 21, and 15.
Yeah.
But then it's like,
consistently. But he was only doing it because he was.
but they lost to the Jazz by 30. All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you just say the Wizards?
Yeah, when Westbrook was on the Wizards.
Yeah.
I'm John. Wow, that is a core memory I just
Yeah.
completely forgot
That
about.
wasn't that long ago. Was
That's
it?
because the Rockets got John Wall, baby.
Which, how
little
do you
swap.
feel about that
A little
era?
swap.
A little swap.
Okay, here's the thing. We had a team that could have, like, imagine these guys, like, in their prime. Like,
When you had John Wall and Boogie?
John Wall, Harden, they were together at the time.
Yeah.
John Wall, Harden, Boogie.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big three.
team.
But there was, like, Depot. We had Depot at that time, too. We had Oladipo at that time.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Like-
yes, you did.
Like, those guys in their prime healthy, like, oh my gosh.
That would have been the final. That would have been like the finals winner.
Yeah.
I was like, it was such a weird time, man. It was like
Man, I
Right before
forgot
Harden
about
skipped
Russ.
town.
yeah, like a 2-3 years range ago. It was a weird time.
I forgot about Russ on the Wizards. Wow.
Yeah, him and Beal.
Yeah. Him and Bradley Beal,
Dude,
bro.
that.
And they were like.
And fucking Dan Gafford and shit.
Hey. And
Like I
Thomas.
said, he was stat chasing like the
Hey,
entire
Thomas
season,
Bryant too.
so-
Don't forget about Thomas Bryant.
Nuggets legend Thomas Bryant.
If he
Backup center.
If Westbrook if Westbrook
Yeah, come on.
didn't stat chase that season, Wizards might.
Yeah,
They did make the playoffs.
Yeah,
that
he
year.
had
Yeah,
triple
they
double.
played Philly in the first round and got punked.
That was another triple double average year,
Yeah,
correct?
that was the last time he did.
Respect.
Yeah.
Respect.
So let's move on to who do you have in the finals? Who do you have winning it? Who do you have winning Finals MVP?
Nuggets.
Dude, I might give them both 1 seeds.
Nuggets. Yeah, Nuggets and Bucks. I fear the deer as well.
I also see Nuggets and Bucks.
Because if those two stay healthy, it's what they should do.
Exactly.
I see either Nuggets and Bucks or Nuggets themselves.
You don't think the Sixers? You don't think the Sixers do
See,
anything?
all right, hear me
Because I
out.
said I might see the upset.
Embiid's
but-
going to
Hear me out. I fear the deer, but not as much as I fear the Celtics.
Well, we just kicked the shit out of the
Yeah.
fucking Bucks at home.
I fear the Celtics.
You
man.
Nuggets fans should be fearing the Suns.
No. After
I hate you
hey,
guys.
Christmas night. After,
They don't have the depth. They don't have the depth.
Christmas. My Christmas was made mostly because Aaron Gordon dunked the shit out of that ball.
Hey, Will.
Hey, what?
Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and DeAndre Ayton didn't play that game. Or no, Ayton played that game. But
I don't care.
Most of their best players were not in.
Aaron Gordon still made.
We went to overtime against Landry Shamet and.
Yeah, so y'all want to talk
Fucking
about the
Wainwright.
depth.
Hey, we
They were
won.
missing.
We won.
Chris
We
Paul,
won.
Devin Booker.
We won. We
And we
won.
didn't have
We won.
KD at the time.
But y'all didn't have.
No, we
Murray then.
did. This was Christmas. This
Oh,
was
did-
Christmas.
he had just.
Yeah, it was like, and that's the other thing that people who like are critical of the Nuggets going into the playoffs. It's like, look, we're having Murray back for the playoffs. You want to know the last time we saw Jamal Murray in the playoffs? It was the fucking bubble.
It was the bubble.
And like we haven't seen him since, and obviously because of injuries and all that. But like we saw him in the bubble that year, and it was like, holy shit, this dude's a great
I'm not
guard.
even going to cap. Y'all should have.
I got some.
Hey man, the league had an agenda, but
The league should have had an
The
agenda.
fucking
I
script, man.
got some for y'all. Will's over here saying y'all shouldn't fear the Suns, and you just brought up how they went to overtime that day without their second and third best player. Now their best being KD.
I know. No, listen, man. I am a Nuggets fan, but I am a hypercritical Nuggets fan.
What's KD's record against the Nuggets?
That is an interesting thing. Let me go to stat.
That's a
No, I can go to
stat. I actually want to.
All time? What's the question?
Let's cook Ben real fast.
Hang on.
I'd say all time, but like obviously we can't count OKC years because that's.
Let me see. Kevin Durant record.
Who was even on the
versus
Nuggets OKC KD years?
He's 24-19 against the Nuggets in his career.
These two.
That hurts.
That's for you, not at you. These two.
That hurts.
I feel Kevin Durant. I do. But
He's
I look
good.
at Chris Paul, playoff choker. I look at Devin Booker, who he'll give you 30. He'll give you 30. He will. Whether it's at the line or on a bunch of fucking short jumpers, he'll do it. DeAndre Ayton, Jokic loves the DeAndre Ayton matchup. And then, I don't know, we'll throw whatever the fuck we can at Kevin Durant.
Hey, we're forgetting about the unsung fifth hero of that starting five, Torrey Craig.
Torrey fucking Craig, yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Torrey Craig, defensive menace.
Who's
Torrey Craig.
Who the fuck's he gonna lock down?
Torrey Craig.
AG.
Torrey Craig.
No,
Wait, what does Torrey Craig play?
Small forward for the
smaller
Suns.
power. Smaller power.
So who's small forward
For us,
Nuggets?
Porter.
No, but he can guard anyone. He'll guard anyone on the floor.
I don't think that MP.
No. I truly think they will put Torrey Craig on Jamal Murray.
You think I'm going to put him on Jamal Murray?
I do.
Why would they not put CP3 on
Because
Jamal Murray?
CP3
That makes more sense.
You mentioned.
I mean, yeah, but like, he's still really good at
No,
the ball. He's really
you'll
good
put
at perimeter defense.
you'll put CP3 on KCP.
I don't think that's a good matchup for him. I mean, I don't think that Jamal Murray is a good matchup for him either. But I think that KCP is a worse matchup for Chris Paul.
Well, KCP, it's so much about off-ball movement with KCP because Jokic just stands there in the key with the ball going like this, waiting for somebody to like do something, and then he's just like, fuck it, KCP's over there.
KCP in the corner somewhere.
Or like, yeah, Porter's on a back cut towards me, fuck it, here you go. Like, so like Chris Paul's gonna have to move a lot if his matchup is KCP.
Fair.
You mentioned CP3 was a playoff choker.
He is.
He was playing great before he went down in that Rockets.
I know, but like you look at his resume with the Clippers, he's you know.
I wouldn't call that a playoff choker. I just call that like
series,
the Clippers not being good enough to get.
He had that one. Like the shining moment of Chris Paul's career for me is, I think it was the 2014 first round series Clippers Spurs. Went to Game 7, and Chris Paul hits a game winner in the final seconds. Like he hit like a short jumper with like 2 seconds on the clock, and then Blake Griffin goes up for it, fucking falls over, gets injured in the final seconds of Game 7. They won.
One game away.
But like Chris Paul has it in him. It's just like, I don't know, man. The guy had a 2-0 lead in the 2021 finals, lost. The guy had a 3-1 lead versus, who was it, the Rockets in 2015? Lost.
That was a good series.
Yeah.
Shout out Corey Brewer. Corey Brewer and
Corey Brewer
who's the other
also-
headband
he
dude? Kind
Wasn't Corey Brewer also?
No, he was
on
a
that-
Nugget.
That Bulls team with
help me out here.
Maybe.
Nargo the headband?
Yeah, so they both went off in that series against the Clippers. He was a Hawks player for the longest time.
Paul Millsap.
Millsap never played for the Rockets.
No, the Hawks.
You said
He was a Hawks player.
Paul Millsap.
Paul Millsap was.
Hawks, but then he went to the Rockets, and him and Corey Brewer both went off in that series. What is his name?
Hold up. I'm looking it up.
What year
Clippers
is that?
Rockets.
2014.
They
me
both
see.
went off in that series.
This isn't the playoffs. All right, let's see.
Just get that Rockets roster that year.
2014 Houston Rockets roster. Are you talking about Tariq Black,
No.
Isaiah Canaan,
Let me see.
Joey Dorsey, Francisco Garcia, dudes who aren't in the league anymore?
Josh Smith and Jason.
Oh, Josh Smith!
And
yes.
Jason Terry, the Jet. They all those vets went all with headbands went off that series. Corey Brewer, Smith, and Terry.
Josh Smith, damn.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
That man was a dunking machine
Yeah.
in the late 2000s. Fuck.
Hey,
Yeah.
And they all were just strapping them that game.
That was
They were
good.
just.
we said we'd make this like a half-hour long episode.
It's an hour.
I was about to say, we were approaching the
When
2 hour
we started
mark.
this, you literally said we're not going to make this.
You know,
2
you
hours
said
long.
that. You said that.
No.
I wanted to.
I
We'll
didn't
figure it
say
out.
time.
All right,
I'm gonna
all
to
right.
class.
I'm going to end up cutting it.
Nah.
Finals. Let's go around. Let's do finals predictions one by one. Xavier,
And who
Yeah.
wins?
who's going to make the finals? Who's going to win? And who's going to be finals MVP? Xavier.
Nuggets, Celts. Ah, that's so hard, man. Just to be the fucking villain, I'm going to say the Celts
Okay.
win, and it's Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum and finals MVP. Will Martin.
Nuggets, Bucks.
Okay.
And I'm going with Jamal Murray. Finals
Really?
MVP. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like Jokic does his job, but Murray pops off.
Okay.
So I was thinking what you guys were thinking. I was thinking either Nuggets, Celtics, or Nuggets, Bucks, but we got that right.
Yeah.
So to be even the bigger villain here,
Go ahead.
you know where I'm going.
Yeah, I do.
Let's go a rematch
go.
of 2 years ago. Suns Bucks.
I like it. I like
Okay.
that.
I like
And
that.
because I am the biggest KD meat rider.
That's okay. These two ride.
Give me Suns KD.
Hey, these two
KD gets his
meet,
revenge on Giannis.
Yes.
these two meet ride LeBron, so it's fine.
I do too.
Because LeBron
I do
is that
too.
guy.
All three of you.
Don't forget about me. He's the GOAT.
king.
The only Laker I will ever meet ride Kobe Bryant, R.I.P. That man did.
That's
That
fair.
man didn't need to pass, nor will he ever need to.
I
Yeah, let's get yours real quick.
am going. I have to say Nuggets. I have to say Nuggets. I'm wearing the goddamn shirt.
Versus?
I'm gonna go Nuggets, Celtics,
Okay.
Okay.
and going off of the fact that back in January we beat the Celtics handily.
Yep. It's a good game.
I'm going to say Nuggets win in 6. Jokic finals MVP.
Good pick. Good pick.
Respect it.
Who was your finals
I
MVP?
do.
He had Murray.
Jamal.
Yeah, good pick. If I go Nuggets,
Jamal's good. He's gonna have a bubble moment this playoffs.
How about Jokic's resume if that happens?
Then everybody will shut
crazy.
up about Nikola
No
Jokic.
one-
And if he
talking
gets the
about
regular,
Jokic.
if he three-peats the...
No, he will
regular
win
season.
MVP if he gets the MVP and Finals MVP. That man will sweep.
You're saying if he gets regular
If he
season,
wins-
he'll
yeah.
get the finals
if he
too?
wins
Yeah.
regular season.
For
Well,
some
no,
that's
I'm
since
saying-
LeBron 2013 too.
That man will sweep.
Oh wait,
He's
no,
not.
Giannis just did that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
he didn't have MVP the same year that
He
He
did.
won. No.
finals. No, that was Jokic's first year.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was. So it would be the first time since LeBron 2013 that someone does regular season finals if Jokic does that this year.
Fair.
That is true. The MVP hasn't won the championship since 2013.
Yep. Yep.
Baby,
Not in the same
let's
year.
go.
Not in the same year. Because 2014, Spurs, but Kevin Durant wins MVP 2014, but Spurs win. 2015,
Warriors.
Curry.
Oh,
Curry 2015.
Yeah.
Because he won, that was his first
Oh,
MVP,
yeah.
and then they beat the.
But I'm talking
then
didn't get the
the
finals MVP.
Cavs beat
The
him.
last
Oh,
time
he did
that-
win Finals MVP. That is
The
true.
last time that happened was LeBron with 2013, 20.
And then that's actually pretty rare that
But
happens.
championship has happened.
Who won Finals MVP 2015?
Iguodala.
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 I want Iguodala.
Yeah.
My Iggy.
Fate of the earth.
I think before that, you might
Martian's
have-
got the death ray. I'm going Iguodala.
I think before that, you might have to
One
go
of the
like Tim
funniest
Duncan
ever.
03 or like Shaq 2000.
Shaq.
Shout out to Yo 99.
99 2000 Shaq. Fuck.
Man.
Yeah.
Shaq Fu.
What did he
100
average?
overall. And
100
The only-
overall.
okay.
The only
To ever get
person-
100 overall in 2K.
Shaq Fu, baby.
All right, is there anything else we wanted to talk about?
Oh, also Shaq has. I just saw this the other day. He has a platinum record and 5 gold. already.
He's doing it.
What's his
And-
platinum?
And they're all from.
And
Oh, yeah.
hey,
None of them
he
are recent.
also had classes at LSU with the Alfredo Sanchez.
yeah.
Yeah, they
Oh,
were-
yeah.
Alfredo went to
Yeah.
LSU with Shaq.
Yeah,
You can ask him about that.
Alfredo went to
Yeah, he
LSU.
doesn't shut up. About
No,
it.
he does. He's only mentioned it like once, but
I haven't
This-
mentioned it in mine yet.
he will. Bring up.
Yeah, he will.
Bring it up.
I
Bring
I
up
haven't brought it
basketball.
up
That's
yet.
the only
Bring
thing he's
up
gonna have to say.
basketball and LSU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I brought it up yesterday, and he didn't say anything.
Bring it up,
doing
man.
This
Bring it
basketball
up.
podcast.
Well, this has been Boardman Gets Paid.
Yep. I got a suggestion for next episode.
Let's hear it.
The Hall of Fame class was just announced yesterday.
Ooh.
Oh, that, yeah, we'll
start with that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be a whole thing.
And then we'll also cover whoever the fuck wins this goddamn March Madness.
Yeah.
All right.
This month.
All right.
It's March Madness, baby.
Have a good one, folks.
Thanks for listening, y'all.
I'll face guard you the rest of the game. If I ain't getting no rebounds, you ain't getting none. That's a good deal. That's a good trade-off, isn't it?